last week.
Okay, we're now rolling.
You know, we determined that those people approaching with weapons turned out to be trained security, apparently, and they had some sort of stun guns, and they moved along. And like the first 20 minutes of the session or so, everybody was just kind of waiting for this impact from the tsunami. There was some throwing up going on some people's parts.
All right, that was a thing.
All over
Come
me.
again?
Yeah. Uh, and but like the train actually weathered the worst of the waves, and like the rest of the session was spent over the course of several hours just waiting out this storm that was brought on by this catastrophe. And as people were kind of just forced to wait in the car, they kind of introspected and went back over their recent past, and that was basically all we did. We discovered some things about some people that we didn't know. Like, some people are apparently richer than we thought they were. Some people got into some pretty hairy situations, and that I think it was pretty interesting. So let's move back to Centron.
Get on the little sites. Put Ray's picture back on.
So yeah, that was the recap. Before we begin, I just want to kind of go over everybody's goals and beliefs to get that fresh in your mind to potentially act upon before we get into situations where you could use them. Let's see here. Victor's current belief is a belief in unrestricted technology. I think we all know what that means, to your detriment or not. Current goals. The first phase of developing the AI Sarah. Basically turning it into an AI, really long-term goal. Obtaining parts for the development of a distortion weapon. And integrating the Argus web with Sarah, which is, I think, very close. If some things are taken, actions are taken. Also notably, Acheron is 50 XP from level 2. Let's see here, Marcus.
Oh man.
Yeah, your belief is life is too short to follow all the rules. Besides, that would be boring. That's a pretty entertaining belief. Currently trying to elude the Darkstar Syndicate. A goal of procuring a shield of Tech 4 or higher. Pretty smart. And most recently added, get set up in a new base of operations, which is, I think, something that we somewhat talked about last time, just in future preparation. But it definitely sounds very cool. Ray believes in remaining loyal to her friends. Without them, life is meaningless. She wants to obtain a bioscanner for sampling purposes. She also wants to pay for Emily's care for a month in advance. A worthwhile goal. And probably the most kind of ephemeral thing on here, or at least the thing that you don't necessarily know about, finding information leading to a meaningful find or specimen, obviously related to finding a cure. That'll be pretty interesting. And lastly, we've got Twitch. Everybody deserves a second chance. I love it. Goals: keeping Phrixus alive, but still finish the job. Again, I love it. Get parts for Max. In the last session, the parts were ordered, and we determined that they would arrive within like 5 weeks. So it looks like they're probably going to get here within the next week or so. And the last thing is to take successful action to evade the Tankai Corporation. So, we begin today. I believe it is. I think it's March 22nd, 3221. You are on Centron, just south of Centron City, and by just south I mean several hours. But Centron City is a big ass place. Um, you're a third of the way to your destination. You're currently situated over the southern Centron Ocean on a mag train, on a line that is like a very sturdy line built on these pillars sunk deep into the ocean, and it rests like 150 to 200 feet over the ocean floor, or over the ocean surface rather.
We just had a
Um,
giant tidal wave flow over us.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
we
that happened.
which we survived okay, and the surrounding towns probably not so much.
Yeah. One thing that we're going to be dealing with, I guess, on your travel is the fallout from that. You guys have been waiting out the storm for hours. All of you kind of thinking about things. There was never any point where, aside from that very first shockwave, where the train really kind of shook for a while, that you guys appeared to be in danger. Surprisingly enough, it seems like even though they never planned for anything this big, you were far enough away, and the safety precautions on these things, because of just how important they are to how important they are to the Centron as a whole, like they're really well made apparently. Who'd have thought? Like, not lowest better, thank God. Maybe it was on another line, but not the yellow line going south. Um, so I think after three or 4 hours, a message comes over the train. You know, we would like to have your attention, please. Uh, the train heading south to Dellen will be resuming its course momentarily. Casualty updates will be available as we receive them. Unfortunately, we will not be able to return to Centron City at this time. Um, and it just basically goes on from there. Uh, does you guys? I'm assuming I'm gonna stop asking. You guys have been keeping track of what's going on with the train, the news and stuff. Like, we've established there's kind of a local train news thing, like what's going on, and then there's like the planetary news. Um, I think I think Akron, you're browsing what's going on. You're seeing these horrible pictures of like islands that are just wiped off the face of Centron, probably. It's really unclear what the casualty numbers really are. I think you've probably looked several times into like the status of the train, like, when are you leaving? Was there any damage? Blah blah blah. There is basically a window that pops up on your display, um, and it shows a report from train security, and it actually goes on to elaborate that there was some sort of near riot in one of the rear cars, um, and like basically a bunch of people panicked when this thing hit, or it was about to hit, and they wanted to go back to Centron. They had family there or something, like, understandable, but like, it turns out that it got fairly violent. There were no like actual weapons involved. Like, there might have been some makeshift weapons, like maybe some crazy asshole peeled one of the safety bars off of the wall and used that to beat somebody. Like, who the hell would do that?
Train
Uh,
spork massacre.
I don't know, man.
yeah.
Who does that kind of thing?
Yeah, really, jackasses. And train security had to actually, for once, put away the stun batons and take out the stun pistols. And they just had to basically neutralize an entire car, like with shock rounds. So yeah, that thing pops up on your display as the train is getting ready to leave. How no, do you react to this? How is everybody reacting to this overall situation? Like, you guys seem to be in the clear.
Well, we all seem to be alive. I guess everything's all right for the most part. I mean,
I think I've decided that the door stays
a horrible
locked and
thing
we
has
don't
happened.
take any more trips.
I'm kind of worried about waterlogged parts and the repercussions thereof. Don't know how the Centron City Post Office compares to water level.
Yeah, so, you know, if that's a thing you're really worrying about, I think you've probably been living on Centron long enough to know that the city and most of the islands have really big breaker walls, and like they're very sturdy. And at the top of those, and these are like walls that go out to sea, and you know they rest slightly away at the shore. And atop of those, they even have like force field emitters. They're not like again strong enough to repel some sort of fast flying aircraft or something.
The
But
barrier wall project was deemed unbreakable by its founders.
yeah, yeah. But it's the thing that helps keep inclement weather out and also reduce you know damage from this sort of thing. Um, so you're just you know the intent is to remain in your compartment, I
Yep,
assume, with
yep.
with everything sealed up.
I might go and wash the puke off my food heat and junk.
Yeah,
I
that
helped
might
clean
be
that up. Sorry.
that
No,
might be a wise
no,
thing.
she is
Does
fine.
does Max have a vacuum attachment?
I don't think for liquids.
I don't think you'd want those liquids inside of Max anyway.
I believe it was chicken. Um, very partially digested chicken. So, Pharixis is, you know, was sitting next to Twitch, next to the window. He had a really rough time of this entire thing, but he seems to have somewhat calmed down now. Now he seems to just be asleep. Like he was so tense during the entire thing that now he's just passed out. Um, Oliver, for his part, is checking like the overall Centron news. Um, and it seems to be kind of just worried about the general state of Centron. After after I guess probably like 10 minutes after that announcement, you guys
Oddly
feel like a
enough,
really
a mag train in the center of the ocean is probably the safest place you could be in this situation.
yeah, it seems like it. Um, you feel like a large like a you know a solid thunk like across the entire train as the mag I, I guess the stabilizers like their little uh legs almost that ride along the sides of the rails below the train on either side kind of detach from the rails, and the train floats back up over the rail. And you know, like within 10 minutes of the announcement, you slowly start to feel the train accelerate again, and it seems like you're heading to Dellen. The projected time is definitely off from what you know you were supposed to arrive. It seems like you're going to be arriving in the morning now. It's gonna be another. It's gonna be another like 9 hours. Don't hold me to that, but it's a while. It's like the rest
That's
of the
that's
rest of
what
the
they
evening.
say over the intercom. Don't hold me to that, but
Yeah.
We might be there at that time.
Should there be no more unconceived interruptions, we should arrive at.
Akron, are you concerned about the state of the track?
Yeah, I mean, my character would be concerned about it too. Out of character, I'm a little concerned about the state of the track too. The 10 minutes seems like an awfully fast sweep of it. I don't want us to
We've
go
been here longer
flying
than
off
10
the
Well,
front
minutes.
end of it.
Yeah, it seems like if you start doing searches, like the train announcement, you know, officially declared that the tracks were safe ahead. Um,
I
it
copy
seems
that.
it seems like if you do any sort of in-depth checking, that they had teams for the last hour and a half, like basically flying over the tracks, and the tracks themselves have a bunch of sensors. Um,
I think it's just I was remembering this real world news story where a train, basically a big wave hit a track like this, and it was fine. And as the train went over it, the track collapsed behind it in Europe.
Ooh.
That was pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's basically once the train gets to its destination, it's basically going to stop there. So it's actually a good thing you guys are going to Dellen. It seems like all of the rails are going to be temporarily shut down
For
at
an
their
extensive
destinations.
examination.
Yeah, like basically they just wanted to get you out from over the ocean. But yeah, you're on your way. Does anybody have anything they want to do?
Can I look into the status of both Dellen and our the continent that we're actually headed towards? I forgot the name of it, unfortunately.
We are
It's
going to
basically
Dellen.
just a large island.
Is there any news on it? Like, is there still a large island that we'd actually be going to?
You
or
know,
is
I
it time
think-
to start selling green on a new home?
let's deal with the overall impact. Not to put too much pun on this of the comet. I think I had something here that I wanted to do. I can have, if people want to help me roll this and participate, you're certainly welcome to. It's going to be rolled out in the open one way or another. I have like several rolls that I wanted to make. I'm trying to remember. Does anybody want to roll me 10d20?
I can. Do you want 10d20
Jesus.
separately or just 10d20?
No, just 10d20.
Yikes, that should be a scary one.
Okay, 96.
Slightly below average.
All right, and
Pretty
then
low, actually. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
let's see here. I think there was one more roll. I'm thinking. Let me do some calculations. Wow. Yeah. So, all right. Let me do one last. Trying to come up with a roll to determine spread. Can somebody give me? Yeah. I'm just gonna do. Roll me 4 1d4s. Okay, let's see here. Oh God.
Another meteor comes in.
No.
I don't like that. When the GM says "Oh God" and we don't know what's coming, that's not a good
Okay,
sign.
guys. So, you know, this was a really bad thing. You all knew that when you heard about it. Like the moment you guys heard on the news something involving Centron orbital defense, that it was going to be bad. Like it turned out that only 20% of the comet made it through. And it landed in the ocean, thank God. But a lot of people were affected by this. Of like this seems to be something that is probably going to not only make sector news, this is probably going to make galactic news eventually.
Comets don't hit planets all too often.
Yeah, like they've never had this happen before. Like, you know, the very occasional meteor storm or something, like that's what the defenses are there primarily for. Just as an astronomical event, this is extremely rare, but you know, this is going to have a significant impact on your sector. The initial estimates are that almost half of the population of Centron have been affected by this. Somewhere between like 90 and 98 million people have been affected. primarily in the south and the east, which is somewhat in the direction you are heading. Well, affected. Let's just say that it was a really good thing you guys rolled low on severity last time. The real big thing here, and we'll just get it out of the way, and like I think Oliver is like he's very battle hardened, but even him, like you see his jaw is just slack. It's estimated there's probably like between the dead and the missing, and at this point it's missing because there's just islands that are gone. There may be 24 million casualties
Holy shit.
across the planet. It looks like most of those are from islands that were directly east and south of the impact.
Hello, Dylan.
Dellen was south and east, but fortunately the impact wasn't even on your map. You can, if you look at that little green line to your west, you can probably rest assured that the small islands connected to that green line are probably mostly gone, or at least washed down to sand or something.
Pieces of Islands Centron 6 was found in Dellen the next day.
Dellen was hit very hard, but through combination of just the direction where it was and the fact that it had several islands breaking the waves, like those islands are really unfortunate, but at least those were less habited. Dellen was not destroyed. It does seem like when you guys get there, though, it's going to be like in an almost a state of emergency. They're not evacuating. Like the storm has moved on, and it seems like it's forming into some sort of supercell down in the southeast now. Like it's going to be a problem later for people. But Dellen's still there. They're like the core, like maybe the beaches and stuff are gone, but like Dellen caters to the rich, and it's fairly hilly and mountainous almost. Lots of lots of high elevation, well-built mansions, and like the city there is fairly high up. It looks like the infrastructure is still there, but as you guys are on this train, and the hours pass, heading to Dellen, like you get more and more reports of specifically the place you're going. Imagine like a really, really bad hurricane hit, and like the news that you see from that. Like this is at minimum of that level in Dellen. And maybe you guys don't necessarily want to think about like what's happening in a lot of the rest of the place. Centron City, wow, they're really protected, but a lot of like the boroughs and stuff that are on the northwest side of Centron City, they might be underwater. And you probably don't even want to think about what would happen if you had been on a boat. Like, who knows where those boats are that were just in the ocean? Like, God help them.
On the top of the 50th floor in Centron City, obviously.
Yeah, like the Pearl Hotel has a new restaurant. Like the SS.
It's like looking at Akron and you wanted to take a boat. Look.
But yeah.
From the West Island, he said.
That's basically where things are right now.
Oh wow.
Jesus.
I think I should be looking up a new home for Green. Try and sell him off of Centron. This planet sucks.
So are you how exactly are you approaching this, Akron? Like, are you literally like, let's just find you a new place? Are you trying to get some sort of status for his neighborhood? Like, is there a chance?
Probably trying to look up any details on the exact area he was living, and also probably share that with everybody. And then I'll just probably start looking up potential relocation options myself. in case this is looking even worse than I think it is right now. Is his current neighborhood
Yeah.
like still intact?
Green,
Uh,
buddy, what's your insurance policy like?
He he seems most upset just by the utter devastation. And he definitely seems like you're not suggesting that you get off anywhere just because you can't. Like, you have to go to Dellen pretty much at this point. Like, the train can't turn around and it's stopping at Dellen, and that's basically where everybody's going to be stuck who's on the train, at least temporarily, until they check all the rails and whatnot and they clear the rail lines for travel again. But like he seems to basically just respond, and like he wants to get there and see what he can do to help, what what everybody can do to help, and at the very least he wants to see if the place that he has bought is still there. He gives you the location. It is on the main island of the three that kind of comprise Dellen. That's the one that was fortunately spared the most. And like it seems like since he was fairly security minded, he bought one at a fairly high elevation that was very secure from what he's telling you. Judging by like what he sees of like the aerial photos of the island, he thinks it's possible that his place is still there. It might be damaged though. At this point, he's not like entirely entertaining the idea to relocate. He just kind of has to see the state of the island first. Like, he doesn't have any personal ties there, but like you get the feeling that he's just reluctant. Like he finally decided to settle down somewhere, and then this is what happened.
That makes sense. Probably be still looking at options for the back pocket if it comes up later, but
Yeah,
that's about it.
he doesn't shoot you down there, but yeah.
We'll have to
Hopefully
see
his
the
place
state of
is
the
still
island when we get
salvageable.
there. It was 9 hours or so.
Yeah, and we're unless you guys want to do something, I think we're going to just kind of play through the train ride as it happens, fairly uneventfully. Like, a lot of this is just like people being really disturbed by what's happened.
Yeah,
I'm gonna notice
universal
Ray's
calamities don't happen very often.
Yep.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
notice that Ray's been kind of a generally.
And then the DM rolled a 1 again.
Yeah, don't roll runs on those, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna notice that Ray's been generally kind of nice, so I'm going to warn her about the concept of looters and rioters that you may want to keep back that may have absolutely no knowledge of us, but still might be a concern. We don't want to let them get close, and also probably take everybody's Argus information and dump it right before we reach there. Basically, get a clean reset.
Looting and rioting. The people should be helping each other.
Looting and rioting. I am so there.
Ray gives you a look. It says, "What kind of people did I
I
get myself
mean-
into?"
I'm totally gonna whisper to Marcus if he gets anything good, we'll split it.
I mean, we should help those people.
Marcus, I will give you a slight word of warning. Don't do anything involving a Molotov cocktail. That's all I'll say.
Everything's waterlogged, right?
Yeah.
The fire won't last long.
So, is there anything you guys specifically want to do on the way there?
Other than dump the Argus data, so that's got a clean 24-hour reset.
Not staying up through the entire night is high on my list, because you said we're getting there in the morning, right?
Yeah. You're probably gonna get there at like 7, maybe a little bit earlier. Like, it's gonna be pretty early.
Probably try to get some sleep since it doesn't seem like we've had a real good chance to do that for a while.
Yeah. So I think that's just what happens. It seems like all of your precautions involving whoever is trying to kill Oliver have really paid off. Like, you have no idea how this impact is going to impact things. Maybe they're done. Like, maybe this is causing chaos for the entire planet.
Yeah,
Maybe
perhaps
they'll be giving up for a while.
they may
Who
have some
knows?
bigger concerns at this point.
Yeah, maybe they were chasing that train that you guys sent to the west, and they just got sunk to the bottom of the sea. Who knows? But yeah, like, the rest of the train ride is uneventful, and several hours later, you guys get, like, a soft chime, and the video camera, or the video display basically shows Dellen coming up on the display, and you guys roll past the first island of Dellen. It seems like you have to really slow down to go through the first station. Like, that's normally a stop, but it seems like they've decided to just stop on the main island. And as you pass through the first island of Dellen, you can see that this station has been very devastated. Like, the track itself is fine, but it's very close to the water, and the station itself is pretty much destroyed almost. Like, there's still parts of it there, but it's not usable safely. And, like,
You're back.
you're slowly going through this place since you've slowed down, and it's almost like you're on an attraction ride in some sort of amusement park, and you're just going through this crazily decimated city, even though you're in your car that's totally fine, and, like, on either side of you, you can see the destruction.
I'm going to
What's the
say
state of the
things were
population?
quite bad.
It looks like there were houses at one point on the beach to the west, and, like, even off the beach, like neighborhoods and stuff. Like most of the heavily populated places on Centron, since Centron has a lot of storms, it had a barrier wall. It seems that the barrier wall is very damaged, and what neighborhoods and buildings were there on the west side are almost entirely gone.
Is anyone moving around right now out there?
There are the occasional person picking through the rubble, but most of those people are actually closer towards the center of the island. Like, it's almost like nobody wants to go towards the western side, because it's almost all like flooded basements and foundations now. That's almost all that's left. There's the occasional person going through the streets. You see, like, an emergency hover vehicle, like, patrolling, just slowly looking for survivors
How
or something.
horrible. Looks like, I guess, barrier walls don't have tsunami ratings.
Maybe not for comet level tsunamis. Who knows?
The irony is, the barrier would probably be holding the water in even longer now if it got over the wall. That's
I
the
think
worst
there's
part.
probably a way of letting it out, but like, it's really just most to break up impact.
I would
than
imagine
just
that
totally
barrier
keep
has
it
to
out.
open up somewhere, like at port
Yeah,
maybe.
like, it's not. It's like, the beaches are there. Like, there's supposed to be water. It's mainly there to break up waves. And it doesn't seem like it's like it. Maybe it did its job, and that's the only reason why sections of this island are still here. But yeah, you eventually travel through, and you get to the main island. Main island is similar on the very edges, on the coast. But as you start to travel inward, now it just seems to become heavy storm damage. There's a lot of chaos, a lot of people out on the streets. The main island is more heavily populated. But this is still, like, one of these kind of resort places. Like, there's not a whole lot of normal people, quote unquote, that live here, and so, like, it's perhaps less populated than an island of its size should be. You I think you don't see, like, outright, like, rioting and looting in some of the outer neighborhoods. It's hard to tell because, like, people are going through houses and stuff. Are they collecting things that were their own to salvage, or are they just stealing from their neighbors? Closer into the city proper, like, you get emergency vehicles and stuff. You've got lions going in for emergency relief and stuff like that. there are like automated small vehicles and like clearing rubble, and there are robots basically trying to search through dangerous areas. The city proper is mostly intact. It's just it's damaged.
Not sure if you saw this, by the way, but I just thought I would link you to other things that can happen from the apparently ocean tsunami from an asteroid hit.
Let's see here. Yeah, I had thought about it.
I'm not sure if you're aware that could happen. I was just curious if anything would happen to the air. And yeah, looks like things could.
Yeah, I was aware that the air could potentially catch fire. You guys are fortunate in that most of the comet was vaporized.
Yeah, because we don't have a ship of our own. We'd have to hit like mass transit. That's not
Yeah.
the greatest idea.
It seems like off-world transit right now is heavily clogged.
Yeah, who would have guessed?
Yeah. So yeah, you guys pull into Dellen.
Probably
man,
not the time to go looking for a used spaceship.
Who knows?
Be
Maybe
hilarious if his house
Maybe there's a
starts
lot
getting
more
hit
wrecked
with.
spaceships out there. You don't know.
yeah. Like
Time to sell a used spaceship. Hey guys, you guys want to go procure a used spaceship?
So yeah, you guys pull into Dellen, and it seems like people start coming out of their compartments almost immediately, like they just want to be off this train, even if this wasn't their intended destination. It seems like this is going to be a very long offload. Given the chaos of the city and stuff, people have been preparing for this train to come in, like emergency people. They knew you guys were out there. Nobody is waiting at the station for the train to leave, like just because everybody knows that the station is closed. So you don't have to worry about a crowd, fortunately. But they're gonna have to offload all the luggage and all the people, and people are just like warily.
Welcome to
walking
Stars
through
Without Number, the
walking through the
Apocalypse World
halls.
Edition.
Yeah, very nearly. So do you guys just get out
So,
and start
what
wading through the
happened-
crowds, or
What happened
Or-
to the vehicles we called ahead for? Did they ever not make it because of the tsunami?
well, we'll have to see once you get out there. I assume
Okay.
you're gonna be checking with that.
Yep. I'd be calling about that if they're not there. They're probably not gonna get them.
What are you guys doing? You've reached your destination. People are offloading from the train. It seems like almost all at once. It's kind of clogged, but it's not like they're like
I would agree with
climbing
Marcus.
over
I'm
each other to
perfectly
get out.
fine waiting for a little bit. Let everything thin out and then leaving.
That seems like a smart thing to do.
I'm gonna throw my makeshift club, give into my luggage, just in case the rioting out there gets ugly.
Okay.
I think
I think-
Marcus's main focus would be on just like making sure we get our cargo back
Yeah.
from whatever car that stuff's stowed in. So that might be a thing when we start getting off the train is looking, okay, where is our stuff?
Yeah, so you know that the cargo is kept in the rear several cars. You presume that is near where they're keeping your weapons. You were never told. Like maybe there's a security office where they're keeping your weapons. You would have to assume they're loaded similar to the cargo and they're just like offloaded and given to you. How long do you guys wait? Like I think it's gonna take maybe an hour, maybe a little bit longer for most of the people to clear off of the train. Do you just stay in your car?
Yeah,
I'm gonna point
I
out
would
that I'm
say
concerned about our
45 minutes or
luggage.
so.
We might want to send. I think we might want to send one person out to check out our luggage before it gets stolen.
I'm on.
I mean, we have a bunch of
company
crates
about
full
the
of
cars. So
good whatever's supplies, and everything on this island just got trashed. So I don't want that stuff getting away from us.
Yeah, so do you guys send somebody?
Ooh, pick me.
Yeah, Marcus, you stand up, and I think Phyrexius stands up too. he looks like he really wants to get out of this car. Do you like? He gives you like a look like, do you mind if I accompany you? Like he doesn't say anything, but obviously he wants to come with you.
Just gonna kind of give him a kind of a look, and then just shrug and wave and come on.
I'm gonna
Alright.
tell Marcus to grab the camera on the way out and take it with him, so we can keep an eye on what's going on.
Oh, good idea. That thing is adhesive or something, or how does it attach?
You don't want to give him the Argus suit, do you? Like I know Twitch is wearing one. I think during your trip you said you dumped the data. If you want to have it to where you actually just took it off of him, we could say you did.
Oh no, I'll keep it on the same spot. Plus, the Argus suit didn't have the Wi-Fi set up on it yet, so
That's true. That's
why I
true.
was
You can get a
thinking
live
the little
feed.
camera would probably work best.
Yeah, this
Wait.
camera could be adhered to something.
No, I mean,
Maybe
how is it attached to the door now?
It's basically like a tiny little black, like hemisphere, and it's just stuck over the door.
Like a little sticky strip, I'm assuming.
But I mean, like
saying
stuck. What I'm getting at is kind of stick it on me somewhere.
You could do that. You could
Okay,
totally,
yeah.
basically, you could stick it to your shoulder, you could stick it to your chest or something, and have like a reasonable assumption that like they would be able to see off of it. It's not like tape adhesive. It seems to be some sort of special design making use of surface tension.
It's
But yeah,
super
it'll
Velcro.
stick to you.
All right.
Stick to
And
anything Velcro.
we have like 2 of these things.
You left one, I believe, so
okay.
you only have one now.
No. Max got the other one.
Oh, that's true.
Well,
Yeah,
I
so
think
you
I
can
get
take.
Max directly connected from his camera. I thought that's what we ultimately did with Max.
Yeah, you did that too, but I think Max, he did say something about Max taking it after the fact. So you
Oh,
do have
okay.
one like situated over the door. I think you've got one watching the hallway too. So like, would you
I
want to
remember that,
take
yeah,
the
Max
one over the
saved-
hallway now?
Max saved the other one. Yeah, I'll take probably the one out of the hallway and just turn that screen on that you mentioned so we can look through the wall.
All right, so Marcus, you stick this thing on your shoulder, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
And Marcus and Pharixus head out. Like I assume you guys seal the door after them. The train is surprisingly quiet. It seems like there's only a few people left. There seems to be a fairly big mess. On your way back towards the end of the train, you pass a like a swarthy, like stout, really surprisingly short Carthan in the dining car. He seems to be like trying to clean up the kitchen, and he's like,
cook.
yeah, it is. He's swearing in Carthan, and it seems like everything in the kitchen, which was supposed to be secured, like somehow came unsecured.
Oh no.
Yeah, like you just hear like a grumbling, like a snargen organ largen, and like it's you know these to be Carthan curse words, and I think Pharixus kind of gives like a small grunt as you guys pass. He just follows you. Is there anything you're going to be keeping like on the lookout for on the way out? Like, are you looking for any security personnel to ask where your weapons are, or are you just going to head back to the cargo area and see if they're passing out your cargo or what?
You hop off the train, take the ramp or the door or the platform or however, and just look around. Where are they offloading crates and cargo and things that are probably ours? If it looks like there's an office, if I don't find that, look for maybe an office or something.
Okay. All right, so you're working your way back to the rear of the train. Like, there's several exits, but like, I would think it would make sense to you to just move back through the train before exiting, so you don't have to like walk across this potentially destroyed or damaged or littered station. You're making your way back through the train, and you hear like it sounds like popping, like the sound of muffled gunfire outside.
Is there a window?
Oh god.
There are many windows.
Let's look out a window.
It seems like it's coming from the back of the train, and you can hear people screaming.
Stop shooting my guns! I need that.
But I hear that as well over this
I
patch
don't.
everybody in, but no audio on the setup.
You could have like a. Marcus, do you have a compad?
Yes.
You could have that open if you want, and we can just say he has like a headset.
I might not have had it open, but I will now. Like I'll give him a ring. Give I don't know Akron or somebody a ring. Say, hey, are you guys hearing this?
They're definitely not, but you are.
I'm gonna sigh and hate being right.
Yeah, so it's like it sounds like sporadic gunfire, and it seems like it's being like returned or something like outside. You can't like you've basically reached the back, and your vision is somewhat blocked by the cargo compartments. It sounds like it's definitely coming from the back of the train. Phrixus is like he's down, crouched low, like peeking out of the door, trying to look. There's people fleeing across the station, just running. You see like a few security officers running towards where the gunfire is coming from.
I'm gonna probably tell Green they're either rioters, probably just looking to generally steal stuff on the train, or they are looking to steal what he probably has in this room with us.
I think he moves across the train and just starts opening up the external camera feeds that you guys had used to just get like your scenic views during the trip, and he like it looks like he doesn't even really respond to you. Like it looks like he's searching for a view of what's going on. Marcus, are you doing anything?
I mean, can I call them? Can I since now I'm at the other
you're
end of the
talking
train?
to him.
Okay, that's a thing. So you guys want to get down here or what?
You hear the squealing of tires somewhere, and a crash.
It's a buggy.
And you hear shouting and stuff. Like the gunfire seems to be a little bit less heated.
Can I hack onto the train security camera? At this point, I don't even care if I get caught, because it's just gonna bring security officers here, and that probably wouldn't be a bad thing.
You can. By this time, Oliver has found an external view of the rear of the train, and it's not like perfectly capturing the cargo compartments or anything, but you can see like a section of what's obviously the action. Are you still trying to hack into the security cameras? Do you want like some other specific view?
Primarily because we're unarmed, and if I end up seeing more armed assailants out there, we might want a route out that will basically avoid armed assailants.
Yeah, that's smart. Give me a computer roll. Let me give you a target number. I'm gonna try to give you guys target numbers before you roll. It's not like something I have to do, but I definitely don't want anybody feeling robbed or anything.
It's fine. I think it's cool.
Let's see here.
Helps you know how much you succeeded or how much you failed
Yeah.
almost immediately too, which is nice.
This is not going to be super difficult. Target number, like since you're not trying to keep out of notice, you're just trying to do it. Like target number 6.
Oh wow, that's not bad.
Well,
Crossing my fingers.
actually, let's give it a 7.
Okay.
Yep, you do it. And it doesn't even seem like you necessarily set off any immediate alerts. You, like, as you're doing this, you see, like, it seems like the backs of a couple security personnel firing, like, stun pistols at what seem to be, like, they're not dressed in any sort of uniform or anything. A couple of them have, like, what amounts to bandanas on. One of them has some sort of automatic weapon, and like they're trading fire. It seems like the thugs are kind of retreating almost. Your security camera feeds come up, What do you specifically look for?
Any armed assailants that are on any other view that aren't in that area first is the immediate thing I want to glance for.
Okay, yeah. You notice on the other side of the train from where this gunfire is happening, there seem to be some people dressed similarly with weapons at their sides, offloading stuff from the cargo compartments. Like they seem to be just taking luggage. Like some of them are they're like basically ripping the luggage out, tossing it, like ripping it open to see if there's anything in there. These do like since it was on your mind, these do kind of look like rioters or looters.
Does
well, yeah,
Marcus know of any of these things that are on the cameras that they're looking at?
Is
Is
it
Marcus
depends.
aware of any of
Is Akron, are you feeding this information to Marcus?
If Marcus asks for the relay, I'll patch him through immediately to the one that I spotted where I'm seeing other people offload, and also show the rest of the group so they can start formulating a plan.
Yeah, so Marcus, on your compad, like it pops up and you get a a slightly lower resolution version of this source. Like it seems like they've got some sort of delivery truck or something, or loading vehicle. I don't know, and they're like it seems like they're frantically just like trying to find anything of value and toss it in there. The people who are on the other side of the train exchanging fire with the security officers, they don't seem to be very effective. I think one security officer is down in your view. He's bleeding, but he's not dead. Like he's leaned up against the train and somebody's covering him. It seems obvious that like they're working in tandem, and the people on one side are trying to distract him while they start looting the other side.
Can I trigger an alarm? Is there any way I can like literally just set an alarm off for that area?
Yeah. Let me see here.
Your security's on our side for a change
I
here.
think
Might
there
as well
is
get 'em
there
working
is
with
all
us.
you go to do this and you notice that there is already alarm going off saying that this section of the car has been opened without authorization. It just didn't seem like anybody's paying attention to it.
Well, they're doing that. I'd like to take an action here.
Yeah, go ahead. Anybody feel
All right.
free.
Go ahead and like exit the train, and look around on the side of the train. Is there any way I could get on top of the train? I mean, is there like any access ladder or anything? Just
At this point,
really
I'm going
readily
with the train,
apparent.
don't
If
worry.
it's not
He does
just
this all the
right there,
time.
I'll do something else.
Let's
That's a
see.
cool idea.
This is
Let me
normal
give-
That
for him.
works.
Let me give this a thought.
Alternately, I could have Frixus give me a boost.
Yeah, Frixus is definitely following you. He's crouched down low, but he's following you closely. The outside of the train is very smooth. However, if you get to like, if you're actually really starting to look around, you can see that there looks like there's some like maintenance areas that may have something to do with getting up on top of the train. Give me a luck save. That's going to be a d20, and I think your target number is
13, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. You have a slightly better luck. Yep, 13. Yeah. So, I think it looks like you look at one, like the nearest one, and it's like it's some sort of panel recessed into the side, and it looks like it goes all the way up to the top, and it's closed. You look further down, and you see another one, and it's open, and it seems like there's a ladder. It looks like maybe somebody has already popped it open so they could start maintenance on this thing and get an idea if there's any damage. Yeah, you can definitely go there and climb up this thing. It's not gonna be like looking at this thing. It's gonna be fairly, not necessarily difficult to stand up, but like it's not a flat surface.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like there's any handholds up there either. So
Talking about on top of the train.
Yeah, it could be fairly precarious once you actually get up there.
All right, I'll go pop this hatch, or if it needs popping, climb up on top, and then kind of I don't know, army crawl, prone,
Yeah,
my way over to the other edge
you
and
do
see what I
that.
can see down the other side.
You start climbing up and you get to the top. And I think like Phyrexius looks up. And he's like, "What should I do?"
Look back down and I'm like, I don't know, man.
Like it looks like he's looking like, do you want him to follow? He's just giving you like the kind of like the puppy. What do you want me to do? If you have no patience for him, like he'll just kind of stay there. Do you just start crawling? Let's see here. It looks like there are 3 on the side that are firing at the security officers, and there might be 4 offloading the car.
Oh, one question so I can kind of picture the situation is, when you said that there was no answer on the alarm, does it look like there's security people just standing around on the other cameras, or they look
No,
like
it
they're
looks like
just,
they've all responded to like
they've
the
all
gunfight.
responded and are getting basically beat? Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Want to make sure they weren't
Yeah.
just ignoring it on purpose.
Yeah, so let's see here. Marcus, you just start crawling across the train.
I'll just kind of look back at Phyrexius and just come on, man.
Yeah, he starts climbing up. I can hear
Almost might
myself.
want a little paint map here.
If Clyde, you're gonna have to adjust your mic. If we're looking at this from a top-down perspective, on the north side of the train, I'll do a small map here.
Yeah, I think it might actually pay off to have a little map in this to get an exact idea what's going on. Pretty cool though. I mean, this should be a simple one to do. Just a few rectangles will sort most of it out, I think.
Yep. Let's see here.
How many turns are we from the exit, by the way? Like the rest of the group that didn't go out with a Phyrexis and Marcus?
Probably 3 or 4 turns of running. Like the passages are fortunately clear, but it's a fair distance. And like it's hard to just run in a train. Like it's kind of cramped.
Okay, is that to both the looters and the people
That
getting shot, or
just basically to the exit where they came out, and they're probably a little bit away from where the shots are being fired. Like if your goal was to run to where the shots were being fired, it would probably take you like 5 turns.
okay, so it's probably definitely better I stay put.
But
and
we're
try to
not
help out
in
electronically.
initiative right now.
Oh, I was just trying to determine if I should be staying put to help out electronically, or if I should be trying to, actually help them
Whatever you
physically.
think.
And with a psychic attack, can you do that through electronics if you're still kind of in short range? Does that count as line of sight or not?
I don't think so. You can do it through a window. I'm gonna say line of effect can go through a window. I don't think you can do it through electronics, just because, like, what if you were looking at a live view across the planet? That doesn't really make sense. Like, you'd have people getting assassinated on TV all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. I was just wondering how psychics worked in this world.
Yeah. If you could see one through a window, though, you could definitely interact with them like that. So literally just let me draw one last thing. This darker rectangle is like the side of the compartment that's been opened, and that is where the luggage is being unloaded. There seems to be a truck of some sort, and like the police are all on the northern side of it. The security officers are fighting, and they basically just cannot see what's going on over there. Marcus, you are on top of the train. You there?
Doop doop doop.
Ah, yes.
Like there-ish, I guess.
Yeah, like you're low crawling. If you look back behind you, you see Phyrexius low crawling like really seriously behind you. It seems like he actually is fairly good at this since he's got 4 arms. Like he's fairly stable, even though he's really
Sounds cool.
big. And he's just following you. What are you doing?
I want to just peer down there and just take in everything that's going on and make sure the camera gets a good look at everything.
Yeah, so from the camera
Scout out.
attached to Marcus, maybe like I think it seems like you guys have not been paying attention to the camera, like you've been trying to pay attention to the security cameras and stuff and what's going on with those. Like maybe you just now realize like, oh wait, we put a camera on Marcus, and you're looking back through it and like, holy shit, Marcus is above these guys. He's like climbing right up over these guys. He's like maybe 10 feet up. No, I think it's probably higher. We said this was a double decker. Yeah, so higher than that. Yeah, you see one guy. Let's see here. How am I gonna do this?
I'm gonna kind of look back and ask Phyrexius, you don't happen to have a sniper rifle with you, do you?
Phyrexius just gives you like a shoulder shrug, like I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
The roof of the station. The station here is open aired. Yeah, the roof would be to the north. Like, imagine like an actual train terminal. Yeah, but not this one.
Are you gonna do that right away, or when it hits the fan?
All right, so those are the rough positions of the people. The one on the far right. We'll get to that when we get to that. The one on the far right seems to be actually like he's the only one that has his weapon out, and he seems to be standing guard, but he's not looking in your direction. Like he seems to be making sure that the security guards don't catch wind that something's going on, and the other 3 are searching through things and offloading stuff. I think you probably see a familiar crate on the ground. It seems to have busted open, and it just seems to contain odds and ends, like weird things. Like there seems to be like a wooden, like some sort of mask or something inside the crate. Like this is definitely one of Oliver's crates, and it just seems
like trophies and things.
Yeah, stuff like that. It looks like the guy standing guard has an SMG. The other guys have pistols.
I'm gonna transmit to Marcus that if he needs distraction before he makes the move, to throw his comm pad as far as he can behind them.
So just to try to get a clear picture of what's going on, Twitch, you have not said you have left the car. Opposite side to what? You're on the same side. You're on the same side, but you can't see them. They're too far back on the train.
Several cars down.
Like way down. Yeah, you can travel. It'll take you, it'll take you a little bit of time. What is Ray doing anything?
I'm sticking with Mr. Green.
Okay, yeah. I think at this point, he's on the comms, and he's coming over, and he says, Marcus, are you planning on doing anything? There's nothing back there worth your life. As he says this, I will point out that the sporadic gunfire does somewhat continue with security officers on the other side of the train.
Okay, so on the north side of the train, there
That's
are
where,
people fighting.
yeah. They're actually, the bad guys on that side of the train are not within our map area. They're farther away. But the good guys are. I can put them down.
I'm probably gonna ask Ray if she's staying in the train with us, if she can help barricade the door with anything that we might be able to barricade it with in case they get on board
What
towards
was the
Green.
status on the cars that I was going for?
What
Or
status?
finding out about? We were supposed to have a car waiting for us.
Oh.
I'm guessing it probably didn't happen.
Well, you would, like you guys got here, and I think you guys were waiting until like you got into the station to check that. If you wanted to pass the time while waiting to have done that in the past.
Well, I had a comlink, so
yeah, you could have. Like it seems like all the like if you tried to actually get a person on the line, all the lines are busy. It looks like you just see delayed.
Yep, that's what I figured.
I would say so.
Oh my.
Oh, that could be hilarious.
Marcus, are you doing anything? Are you scouting the situation out? Like, how do you respond to Oliver?
I can't believe I'm gonna do this, but I might actually have to ask the police for help.
Like, what do you? I think over the line you hear a curse, and you just hear like Marcus, hold position. I think Akron, you're the only one remaining in the car, aside from Ray and Oliver, correct?
That's correct. Is Ray gonna actually help with the barricading of the doorway? By the way, I wasn't sure.
Are you barricading the doorway?
Yeah, I was gonna ask Ray if she could barricade the doorway.
Ray
while
is
keeping
looking
an eye
at
on
you
the
like,
electronics.
why?
They can
As
get
you're
on
doing
board.
that,
We don't
you
want them to get the green.
notice Oliver pull the crate out from underneath his bench, and he lifts it like with a heavy thud onto the bench that you guys have been sitting on, and he puts his hand onto it, and it starts unlocking. As
Oh boy.
like I assume you basically pause to like, uh-oh.
It's like, okay. Mr. Green, may I ask what's in that?
He just goes through this procedure of unlocking it. He flips it open, and you see guns. Let's see here. Where did that go? All right, yeah. If you peek over his shoulder, you see several assault weapons. Looks like explosive. Like there seem to be grenades. There's a lot of ammunition in here. There seems to be an emergency stock of like medical supplies. There is combat armor in here. As he pops this open, he takes a combat rifle out, and he basically shoves it at you, Ray.
Akron's gonna. Okay.
Okay, I take it, and I'm like, you come prepared, don't you?
He takes another one out. He takes another one out. He sets it on the bench above him. He tosses you a mag. Akron, he takes something out of the container. He looks at you for a second, and then he hands you a laser pistol. He looks at this body armor that's at the bottom. He seems to just shrug. He ignores it. He grabs a pair of grenades, another spare clip, and he takes this combat rifle and he moves out of the compartment.
I'm actually, before he goes, I want to motion at the grenades and ask, may I?
Oh God.
He looks at you. He looks down at one, and he gives it to you, and he says, "Non-lethal gas." And he gives it to you, and he's like, "Watch the backscatter." And he basically storms down the hallway.
How long do I reckon it would take to put on this combat armor?
Several turns.
Alright. I don't worry about it. I just take the gun and go after him.
Okay. Yeah. So like Marcus, do you wait there? Like, you basically just got this cryptic thing from Green saying, "Hold position."
am I aware that we're suddenly well armed again?
I don't think anybody has said anything. No.
Okay. Then I'm gonna sit tight, not knowing.
Hold on, Marcus. Backup's on the way. Here they come.
Hold on a second.
Did he leave us with a crate full of weapons there?
It's mostly emptied now. Like, there's still some stuff in
Okay.
there, but yeah, he gave you a laser pistol. Are you following Akron, or are you back on the system?
I'm gonna follow Green. I'll take
Okay.
the gas grenade, but I'm gonna keep my I'm gonna see if I can put the security feed on my compad. So I'll probably be holding the laser pistol with my right hand and my compad with the left hand.
Yeah. Okay. Marcus, you're waiting up there for what seems like forever. It's really only probably like 2.5 minutes. You hear like a kind of a grunt behind you. And you turn and you look and you see that like Pharixus has moved to the side, like kind of perilously close to falling off, but fortunately on the side of where the police are. And it looks like Marcus, like Green is kind of poking his head up from the base of the ladder, like he's looking to see up where you are, and he hefts a very large looking combat rifle up on top of the train, and he motions for you.
Green, you shouldn't have.
Yeah, he slides the combat rifle towards you, and then he gives you an extra mag, and he takes what appears to be some sort of grenade out of his jacket pocket, and he says, "Gas grenade, non-lethal, spread of about 10 meters. I'm gonna head down and see if I can help that wounded officer. Like, I don't think you see this, but Ray, you saw him stuff some medical supplies, like really kind of bare
I have
bones medical
supplies with
supplies
me.
into his jacket
right?
pockets. Maybe, I don't know. He still.
I mean,
did
I
that.
checked my guns, but
I
I have a
He's-
medical satchel and stuff that I carry.
He says, handle it as you want. Ray's armed now. I'm gonna go try to help those
Bulldog.
officers.
You've been holding out on me.
He just he shrugs. He's like, don't get shot, and he climbs
Ask
back
him.
down. Yeah.
You
He
know, ask him,
pauses.
you know they're taking your stuff, right?
He shrugs. He's like, I don't just. We need to stop this. We need to get a hand on this situation.
Mostly, what I'm wondering is, do I need to come down on the side of the police and help them, or get the stuff? You know, deal with those guys.
You ask him that, and he says, you could toss that grenade down there if you want. We need to help the security officers. They're getting they've only got non-lethal. And he starts climbing down the ladder. Like, it's very obvious to you that he's going down there to try to help the security officers.
Okay.
It seems like he's leaving what you do up to you. Like, you're in a really good position for either.
I'll ask a couple quick questions and then I'll figure it out. One, So there's like 4 guys south of the train.
Yep.
They're just loading stuff up. They're not really doing anything. There's at least 3 police officers on the north side of the train, and now Green and maybe some of our other friends coming soon. How far away are the other vandal type people north of the train that they're engaged with?
Let's see here. They are literally just beyond view. Like there seems like the police are taking cover behind like utility vehicle, like small, like like forklift type vehicles that had come up. They're not actual forklifts, but stuff that would use to be
A
offloaded.
cargo moving thing.
Yeah, and then like maybe like one of them's carrying like some sort of trailer with tools. On the other side,
maybe try that grenade first.
on the other side,
don't really want to kill them.
The guys shooting seem to have really slowed down their fire, like they're maybe conserving ammo. And they're like behind some sort of barricades. Like they're literally, I think maybe the closest one is I didn't mean to do a square, but the closest one's about there. And the rest are kind of just lined up off screen behind small little trash cans and basic like actual bits of the station.
Okay. Other question. What kind of rifle is this?
Yeah. Let me look here. This, immediately, is not a standard issue combat rifle. You're very familiar with weapons, I assume, being in the trade you are. You recognize this as a Hadrox CRA-12. It is a heavily modified version. As you look down at it, you see that it contains like you normally have 2 settings on a rifle. This one has 3. There's a semi-auto, a burst, and a fully automatic setting. For purposes of gameplay, the burst fire, it lets you, I think it uses 3 rounds. It gives you +2 to hit and +2 to damage. Full auto uses 15 rounds, but it gives you +4 to hit and 4 to damage. The range, all the other stats are the same, but the range is 80-300. You can mark this down if you want on your sheet. The standard damage of a combat rifle is 1d12, and the standard ammo capacity is 30. You can kind of picture like a G36 or something.
I'm getting all this down. So full auto is 15 rounds and +4.
Yep, +4 to hit and damage.
Okay.
This strikes you as highly illegal, but maybe the good kind. Are you moving? You're in the upper section of the train, and you're moving, trying to move to the back, right? All right, so you can't move into the cargo compartments, but I'm gonna think that the really rearmost passenger compartment with the facing windows, you can just make out the truck. The thing that's basically preventing you from seeing them is the fact that the window is there. It's hard for you to tell. It looks, I mean, like the lights are on, like the running lights. It's facing the east way. No, like this is actually a very similar truck to what you guys were using. Like there's a cargo section in the back. It's kind of like a moving truck, and like you can't see inside the, like, as I said, it's facing eastward, so the control area is on the right side. No, not at this angle. Like you'd, like if you were able to lean out of the train, you think you could probably see maybe a couple of them. No. I think they're probably thickly reinforced. You are probably not sure. They may be glass, like plexiglass, like it's a specific type of glass, or they may be some sort of transparent aluminum. No, because they're meant to basically be sealed against flood, so they have to be really secure. It looks somewhat dubious that this thing could be broken. You could try, but the very thing that saved you guys from the tsunami is presenting somewhat of an obstacle here. All right, so what is everybody else doing?
Quick question. The only thing that they had, as far as like the matching thing that the assailants have, is a red bandana, right?
Oh, they're not red. Like, it seems like this is pretty mismatched. Like, they basically just look like thugs from the hood.
Okay, so they don't have like a unifying thing so
No.
they can ID each
No,
other.
definitely not.
Okay.
You see some guys with a hoodie, some guys with some like ratted like sweaters, or not sweaters, like, you know, just like crappy clothes. Like it seems like a lot of them have been somewhat ruined by the storm and stuff.
Also, a generic universe question: does something like Google Glass exist? And if it does, I'll be buying one after this mission, I think.
Yeah, they do. I like AR is definitely a thing. So yeah, they do.
Definitely good to know. Thanks. I guess I'm going to be sticking with green and keeping one eye on my compad and probably holding it kind of crisscross style like you would with the flashlight and the pistol.
Marcus
Yeah.
was given stun grenades, or is that Akron?
Akron has a gas grenade, and Marcus has a gas grenade.
Yeah, gas grenade.
Marcus, I would try that gas grenade first. They don't
Yeah,
look to be
that's-
particularly military or anything.
I'm gonna kind of just sneak to the south edge of the train car and just kind of drop it down there on them.
Yeah, I think some part of you, like the mercenary part of you, looks at this and like an intersection of you salivates at the fact that they are so clustered. As this is happening, like, you know, I think Ray, you're there covering green, and
Mhm.
Akron, you're there as well. You see him climb back down the ladder.
I
and
tell him
make-
to actually. I tell him to use the grenade, and then I go help with the
Yeah,
other people,
yeah, like
with the wounded
he
police
stays
officers.
low and he makes his way to the police officer. He looks like he's gonna try to help him. If you like, do you get out your medical kit and
Yeah,
kind
I
of
get out my
push him out of the
medical
way?
kit and
Like
help him.
he totally stands aside and he basically, like, the officer looks back and like he's like, get your heads down, you shouldn't be here, and like you know, he tries to keep
Oh,
you guys
kind
safe.
of like we're kind of like on the ground next to the
But
guy.
he sees the combat rifle in your hands, Ray, and he like stiffens. But then like when you start helping his friend, like he seems really confused by the situation, but he just, you know, he's willing to accept help. And you know, you guys are there and you're trying to stabilize this guy. All right, Marcus. Let's figure out what you're doing with that grenade. So you're not chucking it. You are literally crawling over where they are and just gonna drop it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be really discreet and try to not like I hope they don't even notice that it drops down there. But if they do, I want it to get them
Well,
before they realize what it is.
That may or may not be the thing, but I will tell you that you're not going to have to roll an attack roll for just dropping something. If you had been chucking it, that would have been one thing, but you are doing something fairly smart. So you're not going to have to roll an attack roll. Let us see here. I'm going to open up equipment.
I have an
We're
idea
fairly-
that might be a bit related to Marcus's role.
Yeah?
Just out of curiosity, can I access the train's external PA system? Not sure if I can or can't.
You see it on the system, like you've hacked into the security cameras. I don't think they're more secure than the security cameras. Like it seems like they're in the same sort of directory.
Awesome. Marcus is still on the phone with me, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to make an announcement after the grenade goes off and as people are choking that's going to be broadcasting both the sounds of that happening along with a message.
Okay. All right. So normally you would grenade attacks are made against AC-9. And on a miss, they land 1d10 meters away. We're not going to do that because you're just dropping it. Very kind of Acme-esque. Let's see here. We're going to go with my custom grenade, as described in our supplemental weapons.
Reading it right now.
Yeah, a gas grenade, a device used to disperse non-lethal gases amongst clusters of people. These devices are strictly regulated for civilian use on most worlds. Duration over the area in rounds is rolled as a 1d4. Would you like to roll that now?
Sure.
Yeah, so you drop this grenade. It's basically like a small little black egg almost. Okay, one round. I don't think it's necessarily going to matter that they see it because it's just going to detonate right there. A character who ends a turn within the area of effect must make a physical effect save or take 1d2 non-lethal damage. They're definitely not wearing environmental protection. This is a surprise round, basically. They're not like they might start like looking down like what the hell is that as it goes off. They're basically going to end this surprise turn in it. So roll 1d2. Okay. Yeah, it seems like the winds are still really high after the storm, and like you drop the grenade, and like maybe maybe like you had just been ignoring the winds because of the adrenaline. It goes off, and it certainly surprises the shit out of them. And like the three offloading the compartment are just kind of immersed in this clear cloud. And they just start coughing, and they're like, "What the hell?" One of them drops a box that he's carrying. Somebody stumbles backwards. Let's see here. They're gonna make a physical effects save. I'm gonna do that now. As soon as I can find it. Let's see here. That is gonna be. They all failed. So yeah, they all take the damage. I'm gonna say they're also like partially blinded, and they're just surprised as hell. But like it surprising to you, like it seems like as soon as this thing hits, like it starts getting blown off towards the east. But yeah, I mean like surprise is yours. Akron, you were doing something at this precise moment.
Yeah, I'm going to be making an announcement over the PA speaker on both sides that their friends on the other side of the train have been killed or in the process of being eliminated, and that they have an X amount of time to surrender.
Yeah. I don't think the guys currently being smoked with gas are going to react to that, but the guys who are currently trading fire with the security guys, like there's like definitely a pause in the fire as that happens. Ray, what are you doing? You're just
attempting
reviving?
to stabilize this guy.
Let's see here. I think there's a role for that.
I have Lazarus patches if he's that far gone. I don't know.
Let me quickly get to that section. Tools in medicine. He's not dead. So I don't think a Lazarus patch would work. You've got like a med kit though, right?
I do have a med kit, but it's supposed to be for like long-term care.
Well, it says it grants +1 to tech medical for treating wounds. Let's just say that this is like a stabilization before needing a Lazarus patch.
Okay.
So that's gonna be tech medical.
First aid kit gives me a +1.
Yeah, first aid gives you
Yeah,
+1.
I didn't
What,
even know that.
I think you're using intelligence. That's another +1. And you've got +1 from tech medical, so you're getting
That's +3.
+3. Target number is going to be. Let me look. 6.
9.
Yeah, you stop the bleeding. He
It'll be okay,
looks
man.
he
You're
looks
go- you're gonna
gratefully up at you. Like he's never been shot at before in his life. But yeah, you definitely help him out. Twitch, what's going on? Are you still there at the window? Have you been moving on or what?
Well, if I can't get line of sight, what's stopping me from getting into the cargo compartment?
Just a door.
I'm gonna assume it's locked.
Yes. It looks like it's a fairly sturdy door to prevent people from going in and stealing people's luggage. It's got like a key card access, and by key card I mean like kind of the standard squarish key that I described last time. You've hacked doors before.
I don't think I have the time to hack the door.
Yeah, so I like just how do you deal with this? It doesn't sound like they're too far away.
Yeah, I can't get line of sight where I am, so I'm gonna have to go back the other way and try to find a door outside.
Yeah, well, you're not far from the door outside. Like you're within. Yeah, like to the northern side of the train.
Well,
if you pop out there, you see the security officers and Oliver and Ray and Acheron.
Oh, I have a quick. Are we outside the train already?
Yeah, you're hunkered down where those blue circles are.
Okay, I'm going to. I want to definitely ask Green before we make our move to let me know just a few seconds in advance.
Yeah, he gives you a nod.
I assume the shooting has stopped on that side, so something's going on over there. The other side is hit by gas now, so I don't have line of sight anyways, even if I would get line of sight.
Yeah. Alright, so now I'm going to ask people to roll initiative.
What's the roll for that?
It's going to be your dex mod. It's going to be 1d8 plus your dex mod.
What I was thinking of doing if Green is going to push out is I'm going to start a you have 10 seconds to surrender, but I'm going to tell him and Ray to move on 7.
There's Phyrexius. Let me bring up the innie.
Would I get a +1 to initiative? I don't remember.
Do you have what's your dex modifier?
+1.
Yep.
There we are then.
Wow, both you and Acheron have the same initiative as last time, apparently. Ray, you got a 4. Twitch, you got an 8. That's nice.
So I don't know what we're rolling initiative for right now.
Well, you still got something going on the southern side of the train.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Ooh. Yeah, thugs don't have terribly good initiative. Okay. Wish there was a button to just... Is there? Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so, first up, we've got Twitch. You know, you've run out here, you see these security guards. They're like pinned down, but there's no longer gunfire coming from the north. You basically heard what happened over your comms to what's happening on the south side.
Okay.
What do you do?
I don't want to use telekinesis in the situation because it'd probably just set things off more. So, I'm probably just gonna yell at you guys could probably surrender now. You haven't done a whole lot bad. We know the situation's horrible, but it's horrible for everyone. We can't have this kind of thing happening. I roll persuade.
Instead, I don't think they can hear you.
Oh, really?
Like you're on the other side of the train. They're gassed. Like if they can hear you, they're probably distracted. Akron is booming over the speaker something about their imminent doom. Like you're just one guy amongst this entire gunfight.
Okay,
like
well
yelling.
then I guess I do nothing because there's nothing
well,
else I want to do.
I'm going to ask you to roll an intelligence check. Target number is going to be 6. Yeah. You look and like you see something on one of the belts of one of the security guards, and then you suddenly realize that he has an access card for the cargo compartments. How you choose to use that information is up to you, but it is there. You haven't moved or anything, like, and I'm not going to count that yelling as an action, so.
Okay. I guess I'll take the card then. Use telekinesis to take it. He gets a mental effect save because it's on this person.
Okay. Yeah, he's surprised. So he will definitely, have to use that. He makes it exactly.
Okay. That immediately
How
ends
is
the power.
how's that
then.
a mental effect save though? Like to resist somebody doing something telekinetically?
Attempting to
Are you
manipulate
sure?
an item being held or worn by another person is difficult. Unless they cooperate, psychic interference allows them to make a mental effects saving throw to fully attempt and immediately end the duration of the telekinetic power being used.
He's getting a -1 because he's just not expecting this. I'm gonna give that to you. Like I just don't see him. He's too surprised, and this thing is at his belt. He's not holding it. You
That
rip
seems
it.
like something you would need to know to really counter. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
kinda...
Like on his person is one thing. Like it's literally just on his belt. Like you have a tough time ripping it off of him, but you rip it off of him.
Okay. I slot it at the door then, and that probably
Yeah,
ends my turn.
you run back into the train and you put it in the door. That's probably what you can do. Oliver, Oliver looks around. He pokes his head over the barricade, and he says, I think the ones to the north have fled. Can't see him, and that's basically his turn. Marcus, you're up. You just gassed these fuckers, but they got really lucky with the wins. The 3 who you gassed, it looks like they're pretty out of it. Like they might still be able to do something, but God, whatever they do, they're gonna have a hard time doing it. The one guy who does look like a threat is the SMG guy, but like he's just looking around in a panic right now. I don't know that he sees you.
And that's this guy.
Yeah, the guy on the right. Yeah. What do you do?
And we think that the thugs to the north are taken off.
Yeah. You heard that from Oliver over
Okay.
your comlink.
I'm gonna kind of get my fancy new rifle pointed down at those guys and say, I don't know, reach for the sky, assholes.
Okay. Let's see here. I don't know if this should be persuade or just luck. Give me. All right, this is gonna be twofold. Give me a luck save and then give me a persuade check. Luck save is gonna be your D20, target 13.
A luck save and then a what save? And then a what?
A luck and then a persuade.
Alright. Oh, god damn it.
Oh, okay. All right. It doesn't look like the guys in the gas basically. Like, if they heard you, it's just somebody shouting, and like they're just so distracted, and enraged by like this just sudden gas attack that like it goes in one ear and out the other. But give me a persuade check for the guy holding the SMG.
And a persuade would be a different dice roll, correct?
Yeah, persuade is unchecked. That's going to be 2d6. So that's a -1, but let's see here. This would normally be charisma. I am going to say you are getting a bonus because not only have you gassed them, not only are they surprised, you are above them, and if he looks up above you, you're holding a really big gun. I'm going to say you have a total bonus of +1, so just roll 2d6 +1. And yeah, that's. I think that's right at the target number. Let me do one last check. Yeah, he puts his hands up like he's got the SMG, but it's pointed to the sky now. The other guys don't appear to have taken note of you. They're flailing around. One of them has grabbed his pistol, but like they're really disoriented. Akron, your move.
I was actually wondering where exactly are we relative to everybody on the train right now?
Let me put you here. You are those green circles. And there's basically a barricade of utility stuff.
Okay. How soon could we get back to the south anyway, instead of curiosity? How many, could we pass through the train, or do we have to go around it?
No,
or...
it seems like the cargo compartment door on your side is shut. And just like in your brain, you probably realize it's filled with cargo. You would have to run around this train to the east and like come around the side. You could probably. You don't obviously see precisely what's over there. Like if you look and see what's on Marcus's camera, you can kind of see who's over there. You guessed that you could get around the edge of the train in the span of 6 seconds, and sort of like line up on one of these guys at least. You don't know that you could get all the way around it, but you could definitely get to like the backside.
All right, let's deal with what we got here. Now I'm gonna tell. I'm basically gonna suggest that we push on them in a moment on the count of when I count to 6.
So basically next turn.
Next turn, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna suggest that to both Ray, Green, and these, getting their ass kicked security officers at the second.
Yeah, Green gives you a nod. He pulls his monoblade dagger out, and he gets ready. I think the security officers look a little stunned. You don't know what they're gonna do.
Wait, one quick question: how the fuse on the grenades can be 1 to 2 turns, right? It's possible it could go off the next turn.
Not by default. Generally you just throw them and then they explode.
Okay, I was wondering sure if I should throw
Like
it
you-
this turn or the
you
following.
could-
That makes sense.
Like you could feasibly rig one, but like it would actually take some preparation to do so, to have it as a delayed explosive, I think. Unless you have some sort of, you know, I don't think you can really do it on the fly unless you have some sort of skill that you think would translate to like
Oh,
quickly
no, that makes sense.
rejiggering
I'll,
grenades.
I definitely I'll hang on to it then.
Yeah. All right, so that's Akron's turn. SMG Thug goes. He looks around both ways. He's got his machine gun or his SMG pointed up to the sky. He's seeing you, seeing his friends. Like they're not badly injured by this. Like it looks like they're gonna come out of it. But like they're definitely disturbed, and you definitely have the high ground. He looks like he's on the brink. Like he obviously looks like he's gonna, like he's considering running away, Marcus. But you've got your gun just like trained on him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he stays there. I think he stands there. Like you didn't tell him to disarm or anything. Like I think he's just kind of frozen. He's freaking out. That's all he's doing his turn. Ray, your move. You've basically stabilized this guy, and Akron has said something about moving after like the count of 5, and like
Your
it
microphone
seems
is
like
muted.
it seems like him and Green are like preparing to charge around the edge of the train.
Yep. I guess I'll join him, make sure the safety's off, take cover someplace for now. But
Okay, yeah, you can do that. Do you want to move up to the corner of the train already?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to ping where you want to move? Just hold down left click.
That whole square is the train, right?
Yeah, that's the rear car.
Guess we'd want to be what, around there? I mean, that's how else would you get around the train?
I don't. This square. No, like the square grid is not the train. You're not in the train. This rectangle is the train. This thing. Like that's the rear car. You're outside.
Yeah, but the thug's on the other side, right?
Yeah, and you see this back part right here?
Do that a bit. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm moving to there.
Yeah, like moving that way, you would have to go through the train.
Okay. That's it. My turn.
Okay. Gassed thugs. Okay. Let's see here. Marcus, give me a luck save.
Alley-oop.
Oh,
You
yeah.
are not a
Oh,
lucky
come
man
on,
today.
man.
All twos all the time.
Given this is combat, could he technically use the reroll on a luck? I don't know if that works.
His
that way.
reroll is not a reroll. He just can ignore damage.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
negate.
okay.
Yeah,
I
and even,
forgot.
even if it was a reroll, it's not a skill roll, so you couldn't reroll it
Yeah.
yourself.
Marcus, like you're pointing your gun at the SMG guy. There's these guys coughing. One of them seems to have like stumbled back a bit as he's coughing, and as he does so, he looks up like he's not intending to look up, just like to look around, like he's just like in pain or whatever, and he catches glimpse of you up there, and actually sees you up on top of the train, and he just starts waving his gun in your direction. He just starts discharging his pistol as he's coughing.
Oh shit.
What is your AC?
It should be 4.
Okay.
Question: would I get any sort of partial cover
Yes.
bonus for being up on top of a train
Yeah. Fuck
and
yeah.
prone?
Yeah. So I think it's like 3 then. Good lawyering there. Everybody pay attention to that. That's good lawyering.
I mean, that was kind of the intent from the start, but that and not falling off.
Oh yeah, he just lights the train up, but he misses completely. Bullets ping around. Maybe one like lodges in the hull of the train next to you, but nothing happens. Phrixus's turn. Oh boy. I think Phrixus just kind of crawls near you, but he doesn't even poke his head over, and that's it. Like he keeps his head down. I think 2 of his free hands are covering his head, while the other 2 are just in front of him. Yeah, that's his turn.
Does he have a weapon? Did Green hook him up or?
No, he didn't have that many in the compartment. Twitch, you slide your little key thing that you've just procured from the security officer into the door. The cargo compartment opens. It's filled with stuff. It looks like some of it's toppled over. You see almost the entire back right side has opened where they've been unloading it. It looks like you've got some cover in here. And you can definitely see some people.
Okay.
Let's move you in here.
I want to take cover behind some crates and take the SMG thug's SMG.
Okay, yeah, it's currently pointed up towards the sky. That's just gonna be a mental effect save, right?
Yes.
All right.
Unless there's another
He
check
fails.
involved. I don't know if there's like
No.
I have to grapple him or something.
No. Let me just. I will quickly read that skill just to make sure. I'm pretty
By the way, since
sure
we're
he
on
just
the
failed.
It says
the
I
roll.
can
I,
manipulate it with one hand, but it lists a strength of 10. So if there's rules for grappling, it's probably opposed with 10. Or if there's rules for disarming someone somewhere.
If there are moves for disarming, I have not seen them. I think that's basically under my purview to institute some sort of check. Because you are given a save already, I think that sort of encompasses it. I'm just making sure though. You're using remote manipulation. Yeah, you do it. You rip it out of his hands.
Okay, I take that to me, and that's probably my actions for the turn.
Yeah, you just you force whip it into the compartment, and like I think it dings around on some shit, but you eventually catch it and like spend a second like orienting it and like actually holding it. Who next? Oliver. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not
Yeah?
sure if you saw my PM. I was just trying to explain how I was trying to time it roughly, making sure I was clear on that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
You're basically doing your countdown right now. When you hit your mark, Oliver basically dives over this barricade. He's got like his knife out. It's like point down, and he rushes to the edge of the train, and he's basically just like his back to the train, looking around, and he basically sees this currently disarmed thug. That's Oliver's turn. Marcus, you're up. This guy just took a shot at you. Like this SMG guy surrendered and had like his gun ripped out of his hand. Like, what the hell was that? Like, where did that come from? But like it seems like these gas guys are so disoriented they might be dangerous.
Oh yeah, the guy's gonna shoot at me. I'm gonna shoot back.
All right. Do you burst him? Do you semi-auto? What do you do?
I'm gonna burst.
All right. That's going to be adding +2 to your hit.
Mm-hmm.
Their AC is 7.
So I should be doing D20 +2 +7. Do I get a +1 because it's a projectile weapon and I'm good at those things?
Yeah, let's see here.
I think.
You get one. Your projectile weapon basically cancels out the negative.
Oh, the -1. that
You
should
get
go
one
with it.
from your AB though, and you get one from Dex.
Ah, that's the one.
So you get +2, and then another +2 from Burst, and then you also so like you're doing +4 +7.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, make that attack roll. Owned. I believe your damage is 1d12 plus
+2.
2. Fatality. Yeah, you burst this guy. One of the bullets like goes through his shoulder, one of them goes through his throat, and the other one just goes through his head, and he collapses. There's just spray everywhere. Yeah, one of these guys is down. And he's down for the count. there's no way he's coming back from that one, man. I think that the other two guys are like wide-eyed. And we'll deal with what they do on their turn. Akron, you heard gunfire from up top, and some gunfire from the other side. Green has run to the other end of the car with his knife, and he has paused.
I'm going to make sure that security guards are also running that direction towards where Green is, and I'm going to also run up behind Green right now while continuing the countdown on the phone. So,
Well, one of the security guards is wounded, and he's just leaning up against the car, like he's been stabilized. The other two seem to be just like looking around, like what the fuck's going on? Do you
yeah, I'm gonna scream move at him and point towards Green as I charge out. Hopefully, get one of them to follow us.
give me a persuade roll?
Okay, I think that's unskilled. Let me check.
Yeah, it's unskilled. This is gonna be charisma though, so that makes up for it. I think you're
Okay.
just rolling at a 0. This TN is going to be. Give me a second. They're gonna be doing their duty, but they're also inexperienced and freaked out. I gotta figure. I think this is gonna be TN 8 to get both. TN 7 to get one.
They both follow.
Yeah, you shamed them. Like they see this pasty guy with a laser pistol, like run up, get going, like you're waving at him with your compad hand or something, and like they don't even really know what they're doing, but they charge after Green, and like they basically stack up next to him,
Awesome.
and I assume you follow.
Yep, I'll be following right behind him. Literally right behind him. I need somebody to round the corner first.
Yeah, okay. SMG thug. He sees you fire at this guy, Marcus, and he just bolts. He bolts to the and like he's also had his weapon ripped out of his hand. He is freaking out. Let's see here. I'm gonna roll a luck save for him. Oh, fail. He does not take the more intelligent route. He runs he runs north. Instead of running towards his like his route of escape to the south, I think he panics and thinks about like his friends who had the guns, and like the gunfire stopped up there, so maybe he's thinking like maybe they've taken out the cops. So he runs up and he runs straight into Oliver. Nothing immediately happens there, but like Oliver is around the corner and he's got his knife up, and this guy is just like, oh shit. Ray, it is your turn.
So they haven't been like attempting to run away.
One guy is. He's fleeing to the north. For some reason I can't
The dude
move
that's
him
next
anymore.
to us now.
Next to you.
Is that where he is?
Where are you pinging? Yeah, he's up there. I'm trying to move his icon. He's up there.
All right. I wish to fight to incapacitate.
Yeah, you can do that. I'm pretty sure
How does
everybody's
this work?
seen those. Let me see here. Bringing up the rules now. Are you using your combat rifle?
Yeah, so we'll try to shoot him in the legs.
All right.
I guess.
House
I guess
rule,
that's how that
fighting
works.
to incapacitate. Yeah, you're basically shooting to like knock him in the leg or something. When making an attack, you may declare that you are trying to incapacitate a target by attempting to render non-lethal damage with an attack that would normally be lethal. After you've made your attack, you roll a luck save. So let's get your attack first. AC is 7. Ooh, that's a hit.
That's a burst, but yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, damn. Right, so let's get a luck save. Ah, yes, that is a good point, Akron. I will add. I love the little killy face.
Yeah, whoever
I
put
think
that in is pretty
that
hilarious.
made your luck save, didn't it?
Yes, 14.
All right, I'll take care of the initiative in a second. After you've made your attack roll luck save, if you succeed on your save, you deal you deal your damage in such a way that it drops your target to 0 HP, but the target is left stable and incapacitated at 0. Basically, if your damage that you are going to roll is enough to kill him, it knocks him out instead. So roll your damage. Wow. You burst and fucking take out both of his kneecaps. Like, I think like you just ran up right next to Oliver and like just pointed your gun at this guy's legs and just held down a burst and just drew it across this guy. Like maybe it only got one kneecap and then 2 bullets hit the other guy's thigh, and he just goes down and he's just screaming and then he passes out. The cops look at you and they're like, "Holy fuck!" But yeah, that happens. Nice job. Gassed thugs.
He's not dead.
Nope. I was going to put some screaming on
God.
the radio. Yeah, he's passed out. Let's see here. Gassed thugs. They're gonna make a luck save. They make it and they take the smarter course of action, which I deem to be surrendering. Like they just saw this Marcus just totally plaster this guy. They look up and they just drop their guns and they start kneeling and they see Twitch like looming in the car with an SMG. They kneel down to the ground. We are leaving initiative now.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you
He
see how I
definitely
managed
did
to
the
get.
smarter thing and not keeping that up, I think.
Yeah, and you also see how I managed to weasel my way out of adding more people to initiative.
Yeah, that is
Well
true.
played.
Yeah.
Oh, look, guys, we have a vehicle now.
Yeah, maybe.
Sort of.
Let's see. Like, all right. We're out of initiative, so you guys can move freely.
I'm gonna
I
go
think-
disarm the pistols from the guys who surrendered.
Yeah, you do
Attempt
that.
to stabilize the guy I just blew the kneecaps off of. Or is he stable?
He's stable. But you can make the show.
Yeah.
Like you never know 100%. Oliver.
The gas
gives-
grenade stopped, right?
Yeah, it was
Blue
only
one
one turn. And now Akron has one in his pocket for use whenever he deems necessary. So like Oliver and the two, I think one of the police or the security officers make their way around the southern side of the train. Oliver helps you disarm these guys. The security guy is just like looking at this scene, like slack-jawed. The other guy is standing there with Ray, like making sure that this guy is not dead. He's also like surveying the scene, making sure that his friend that's also been stabilized is fine. Phrixus stands up from the top of the train and looks down. And like Twitch, you hear a thump and he lands right next to you. Like he's landed on all six basically. Like his two legs and his arms, and like he's just fine jumping off of like a 15-foot train apparently.
Ah, Frixus, it's good to see you're fine.
He gives you a nod. He's like, good shooting. He doesn't know that you didn't do it, but he just gives you the compliment anyway.
Walls around the unconscious guard over here anyway.
You are.
Me?
No,
no, not that
it's
guard, okay,
only Victor. This could be interesting.
Are there any stun pistols laying around? Like never
Yeah.
know when that could come in handy.
Yeah, there's one right next to him.
I'm totally slipping.
The guy
a
who
stun
got
pistol in
shot,
my pocket.
how did he get shot?
Which guy that got shot?
Yep,
The security officer.
even he's probably doing it under duress, and I intend to try to resurrect him with a Lazarus patch. If he got shot in the head, I'm not gonna bother.
Oh yeah, he got shot in the head.
Okay, then there's no point in trying.
Yeah.
You're not recovering
So,
from that.
So like, Akron, you see the security officer who had been stabilized by Ray. Like he's breathing, steadily but hard. His eyes are closed. He's kind of looking upward, but his eyes are closed. So like he doesn't notice you take this pistol. It's just lying next to him. Like I suppose you just slipped that in your backpack while looking both ways to see if anybody's noticed you.
Pretty much exactly.
Yeah, nobody has.
Check my security camera feed, make sure I'm not on it. If I'm not
Yeah.
on the camera, I'm good.
All right, so I think the scene plays out as thus. More security officers show up, like island security. It seems like there was some sort of riot somewhere, and like they had to almost fight their way through it. Like all this got touched off almost at once. It seems really weird. And they show up, they secure the scene. We're basically replaying the scene of what happened at the hotel almost. You have a little bit more credit with these guys, given you saved one of their guys' life, at least to them. Like they didn't know he wasn't gonna die, and you helped take down these attackers. I think they ask you to basically put away your weapons, and they ask you all to kind of stand near each other. And you've got a couple guys. The guys who you basically saved are guarding you. But like they're not looking at you hostile. Like they're almost like they're just like you guys have just gone through some sort of experience with them, and they're like, these guys saved us. You're not buddy with them, but they're obviously much more disposed to looking favorably upon you, and so they're kind of standing up for you with the other security officers, and eventually the story is told of what happened. Like the previous time, I'm going to assume that everybody cooperates and tells the truth unless you tell me otherwise. Is there anybody who is doing anything specific to the otherwise? Like, does anybody just keep their mouth shut? Does anybody want to omit any specific details? I am assuming that you're not telling him you stole that pistol, so you don't have to worry about that.
I probably won't tell them I hacked onto their security cameras. I'll probably just quietly disconnect and hope that goes unnoticed in the chaos.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything anybody's specifically lying about, or anybody just who doesn't want to talk?
No, that should be fine. We don't have a real reason to right now, I don't think.
Yeah, I think like they basically just like with all the chaos on the island, they don't spend a whole lot of time here. They the most time they spend here is just figuring out what happened. Like these guys were just looting. Like this is crazy. This has never happened on this island before.
Might ask the sergeant if they're going to be putting those reports in right away, or if their computers are down, or what. Because I think if they go in right away, then we might get flagged.
Do you say anything, or you just ask him if the reports are going in right away?
Well, I might ask, like, how are your computers doing? Or, I bet they're down in the storm or something like that to see if...
so you
it
work
sounds like
it
they're
into
gonna
your
get-
conversation with the guy that you basically want to get the status of the local. It seems some of their systems are down, but not all. So, like, unless you specifically come out and ask, which I'm assuming you're not going to do, you can't know for sure.
I did that. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm not going to ask that directly.
But, like, they figure out what's basically going on, and you get the sense that in a normal situation, maybe you guys might be hauled in for more detailed questioning. Like, maybe you'd have to go through the legal system. Like, Marcus just killed somebody. It might have been justified, but, like, there's still a system for that. But this whole planet just lost, like, 24 million people. And, like, there's tons, like millions more without power, in distress. Like, their island is one small island in specific, and like, it has its own problems. They are basically just happy to look the other way. They don't ask how you got these guns. I think, like, they very carefully ignore Marcus's, like, automatic combat assault rifle. Like, maybe one of the guys you saved kind of, like, he gives you, like, a nod as you're standing, like, next to him. He's like,
They might not know it's automatic. I didn't use the automatic.
that's true. He recognizes that it's modified and it's a nice weapon. And he gives you, like, a nod, like, this is still a weapon that you're not supposed to have on the streets, like a combat rifle. But, like, one of the guys that you saved, like, it's just like a young 20-something guy who has no experience or anything. He just gives you a nod, like, nice gun, man. Like, well done. You blew that guy's fucking head off. It seems to me like you guys are getting the impression that you've definitely not made any sort of enemies with the police force here. There are definitely a couple people who are more favorably disposed to you now. There are also a couple people who are just like, don't make any trouble. So neutral or neutral good experience with these people as this happens. And
we still need to categorize Green's belongings and theoretically get a truck. Unless we can
they
use that one.
basically tell you that you can, you have to work out what your luggage is, but you can take it. Like, we're not going to hold you up. Most of the officers head out once they determine that there's no fighting here, and they also learn that several people fled. And so it's kind of, a skeleton crew again. It's the two guys you saved and a couple of the other security guards or security officers. Like, you're able to retrieve your things. Like, it's a mess. Some things are broken from Oliver's containers, and it takes you a while. You go back to the compartment, I suppose, to get your stuff. It doesn't seem like anybody has come back here, like any of the civilians that fled. Like, like maybe they will eventually, but they were pretty freaked out. Do you guys try to find alternate transport. Like, what do you do? It doesn't. When you check the status of your cars, they say delayed. If you ask one of the nearby security officers, he says like, yeah, that's pretty much everything on the island right now. Like, a lot of the roads are jammed. If you can find a road that's not, I don't know that you can get a service to deliver anything out to you right now.
I want to know the
Green doesn't
status
know
of
any-
this truck that they had.
What? How do you approach that? Like, it is intact and it is in existence. That is a status.
Does it have keys in it?
Yeah, it's running. Do you inquire as to what they're gonna do with it? Do you just take it? What are you doing?
I guess I'll inquire the security guards about that truck.
They both look at each other, and they look at like the security guard that the head guy kind of nominally left in charge, who's giving you guys some room. He seems to be giving orders to some other people, and they're giving you some space. So he's in charge of the scene, but like he's like right now he's not necessarily interfering. They look at each other and they're like, we have no idea where that comes from. I guess it was theirs. Maybe it's stolen. They shrug.
So they can check in the system if it's stolen, right? Well, I guess the
They-
system's clogged, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they can. They said we could. Do you like they just kind of look at the truck and they look back at their boss and like they look at you. Like I don't know that there's gonna be an investigation into this, or at least anytime soon.
Well, the way I see it,
Could
there's no way we're going to get a rental truck, and we do have someone whose belongings need to get to a certain location.
Could I like do a persuade maybe and just promise them I'll bring it back and then totally not bring it back?
I think you guys can help each other. It sounds like I think Twitch is making the primary role here. If you want to help by making a persuade roll, and if you succeed, you'll add a
Yeah, sure.
bonus to Twitch's roll. Let's get a roll from Marcus. And I will mention that these two survivors and the one injured guy do get taken. Roll
It's
roll
2d6.
2d6.
Oh, I knew that.
That's fine.
I was going to say, how'd you get a 13 minus 1 on 2d6?
But like they basically took those guys and that was it. And the injured security guard was taken to the like relief shelter for treatment. Yeah, that's enough to give you a +1 on your roll, Twitch. I'm gonna say your roll for actually succeeding at letting like them persuading them to take what is possibly evidence and probably a stolen vehicle from a scene is going to be weighted in the fact that you save these guys' lives. TN 8.
Nope.
7.
No, I got a 6.
Well, total 7.
So that,
Really
I already included
close.
it. That,
They
I
seem like
rolled
they
horribly.
want to. They seem like they want to give it to you. But they're pretty, like obviously afraid for their jobs.
I don't intend to keep the truck. We can have someone bring it back if you like. I just need to get this guy's stuff to his location, and then that'll be it. We can bring it back. I just understand I would normally rent one, but the way things are, I highly doubt I can get a rental nowadays.
Also, we are very well armed.
Yeah, I think one of the guys looks over at like you keep bringing up the armed thing.
Oh, I'm just playing.
Looks over at like your weapons and stuff. he considers the gun. I think if you guys want to do this, these guys are going to ask for the SMG that Twitch has appropriated from the downed looters.
That's
Like, it
fine.
seem-
I don't intend to keep it.
Yeah. If you give it to them, man, like the two guys nod at each other and they're like, we could definitely use the extra protection out here. Like, they didn't want something big, but they don't want just a pistol, and it seems like they're pretty afraid that the island's gonna go to shit. You give them the gun, that's enough for them to say, okay, look, you can borrow the truck, but please just try to get it back here. Like by tomorrow or something. I don't know.
So if nothing else, we do eventually intend to return to Centron City at some point, whenever the trains are working again. We can leave
Yeah.
it back here then.
They just they just basically say, like, get it back here. Maybe nobody will notice it's gone. If they do, maybe it just got stolen again. And then the other guy's like, the truck fell off a truck, and they just like laugh to each other. Yeah, so you guys have basically secured a truck to transport things. Like, you guys might have to ride in the back with all your stuff too. Is that what you guys are gonna do? And
This is like your
I-
typical delivery van, right?
this is almost exactly the sort of truck that you guys used before.
Yeah, so it's probably got maybe seats for 3 if you cram in the front
Yeah,
and the rest
it's
in the back.
basically got a bench seat for 3 up front, or 1 and a Carthen, and a bunch of room in the back.
But
Sounds
it's,
good.
it's a box
I'll
truck,
pile
right?
back.
It's not like a
Yeah,
truck bed.
basically a box truck. Oliver, doesn't look phased by having to ride in the back. He's basically putting, while this is going on, he's like straightening his luggage and picking out what is his from the cargo container and putting everything that is spilled out back into its containers and stuff. And he's gone back to get his armory case.
I intend to help him put his stuff away whenever we actually get done talking to the guys.
Yeah, you probably notice it seems like artifacts and stuff from a lot of different cultures and worlds, like stuff that you have you just have no experience with, you don't recognize at all.
While putting that away, I think while I'm putting his stuff away, I might ask him if he's ever encountered I think, what is it called? A Revenant suit, I think? Or Revenant,
Revenant wiring.
Revenant wiring.
That's
That's
not a
it,
suit, it's like internal
Yeah,
wiring.
it literally replaces your entire sections of your organs and stuff.
Give me
I
a
was wondering,
second.
ever encountered it. Give me a lead
so,
on
like-
the distortion, so.
So during this conversation where Marcus and I think Twitch are negotiating for the truck. Akron's over there, just talking as the rest of you are kind of helping him with his stuff, and you're like, hey, if you ever, the topic kind of goes to you've been to a lot of places, and then it goes to have you ever seen this crazy shit? It's called Revenant wiring. It's supposed to keep people fighting even when they're dead. He'll pause and look up and be like, nasty stuff. Why you asking about Revenant?
I've heard that it was back in circulation in some part of the galaxy, and I was just curious. I've always been fascinated by the lost technologies.
So some things should perhaps stay lost. You don't want to see what that stuff does to people.
So you have then?
He nods as he's packing stuff away.
Hopefully not in this sector. How far out were you?
He seems to think for a minute. I'm not sure what sector we were for that one. That was pretty black.
I'll just nods. No part of the, no idea what part of the galaxy you were in then. Must have been quite far.
I got the feeling we were a little bit closer to the core than we normally operate. If you catch my drift, like that probably comes across to you as like maybe the reason why they were left in the dark on the operation. Like operating closer towards Sector 1, means they're actually operating within like the heart of Galactic Union space. If something was happening there involving like illegal technology, they would probably be kept in the dark.
Oh, that's definitely interesting universe knowledge here.
Yeah.
Definitely, just nod and probably not push him too hard on. I don't want to raise too many suspicions.
So, you guys load everything up, and who is riding up front, and who is riding? I guess everybody else will be riding in the back. And is there anything you guys want to do that you feel like you want to note? Does Twitch want to have like a privacy moment with Phrixus, like up front, like in the front of the truck, like as you guys did before, or are you guys just not care?
We only have the one truck now. Ray is the better driver than me, so.
Well, it is just
Can
a
I
truck,
search
but
the,
okay. Like if you suggest that Ray
If such
drives,
a thing would come up.
like, yeah, it seems like they ask you to drive, Ray.
Can I search the van to see if they might have left anything of value in it? I don't think anybody's got a chance to look
The
it over
officers basically took like crime scene photos of everything, and it looked like they unloaded like the
okay.
stolen luggage from it. It's all lying there on the ground nearby, technically.
Anything that looks interesting in it? I mean, anything that would like catch your eye, I guess, off the bat.
Let me see here.
Ranging from
Oh,
anything
okay.
like
Yeah, that's fine, Ray. We can just say you're going with it. Let's see. Akron, since you're looking, what sort of things interest you? I think I know, but just enlighten me.
technology, anything that possibly looks illegal, weapons possibly.
Give me a luck save.
Sounds good. And luck is D20, right? Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Roll it.
Well, if Ray's not feeling well, so I'll drive the truck.
Oh man. So everybody's loading up in the truck. Let me take a look 1 second. No, you're not getting an induced coma trigger. Jesus.
Oh, while you're looking that up, I'll return the little sticky cam back to Akron, just as a side note.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, it seems like he's returned it in one piece, Akron. Maybe
Definitely
you had
was,
your doubts, but Marcus has turned out to be very professional.
Oh yeah, Marcus has definitely got my highest opinion from my character so far. He's very proficient at what he does.
All right, I'm going to ask you to roll. Um, 1d8, please, Victor. Three. No. Are you serious?
What did I roll?
All right. This is funny. Victor, you're looking around. You notice like everybody's getting their stuff onto the truck. I think the last crate's getting loaded on, And something catches your eye in the very back section that's still loaded in the train. Like it looks like they've been pulling it out, but it had not been taken. It looks like a comm server.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Like some sort of powerful computer server, and it's got it's got transmission devices.
That is so going in the van with everything else.
Notable that it's very big. Encumbrance 3.
Copy that.
So like,
Will I be able to carry it myself to get
You can-
into the
what's
into the
your
van?
like? I assume you have the free encumbrance. Like, I don't think anybody has like an encumbrance of like 4 or whatever. Oh, you're close though. Yeah, you can say like, yeah, I drop. You don't even have the Argus webs on you though, so we don't count that.
I can drop the club too. I've got
You,
no interest
like-
in that now that I've got a laser pistol.
You can take it, Victor. It's like, imagine you walking across the area between the train and the truck carrying a fax machine.
I might ask to see if when Marcus hands me back the little camera, I might ask him if he can give me a hand with this.
Yeah, so Marcus, you just hear, hey, can you give me a hand with this? And
Huh?
you
What?
see
Oh.
you see Akron over there lugging something out of the back of the train. It looks like some sort of equipment. What do you do?
Yeah, sure. I'll go help him. I'm not even gonna like pay too much attention to what it is. I'm just gonna,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Been packing heavy shit for the last 10 minutes. Why not?
All right.
Awesome.
Are you basically just gonna be trying to look nonchalant, Akron, or are you just gonna just take it because it is your manifest destiny?
Just carry it as normally as possible. Look like I'm just carrying our stuff just across to the van.
I'm
Who
trying
the
to
heck
decide
would
if I
pack
want
a
you
comm
to roll.
server to be taken on a train somewhere?
Yeah, I know. It's not unfeasible, but you got really lucky. I'm trying to decide whether to have you roll an untrained stealth check or just a luck check. Argue, Victor or Akron. Which do you think? Untrained stealth would basically imply that you are like you're intentionally trying to remain nonchalant, but maybe you're like trying to keep your back to the officers so that they don't see what you're carrying. The luck save would basically just be like you're just carrying it.
I kind of try to carry it, but look like, I'm just gonna try and look as like this is just part of our normal luggage package as much as anything else was. Trying to give that kind of impression as I move through. Whatever role you feel is appropriate, I'm cool with. I know they told us to sort out our stuff and bring it onto the train, so.
All right, let's do an untrained stealth. You're gonna get a -1 because you're untrained. I think you're trying to do this intelligently, so you're gonna be using int, I suppose. So that'll offset it. Let me give you your TN.
Oh boy. God, I want to get a comm server. It'd be amazing if we can casually carry one of these out.
Target number... Target number 9.
Here goes nothing.
Oh!
Holy
I
crap!
can't believe it.
Oh baby.
Yeah. For whatever reason, the cops are like, looking around. They see you. They're like your friends. I think they're more distracted by the fact that you're just about to leave with this thing they might get on the hook for, like the truck that they're worried about, and they're not so much worried about what you're loading. And you just walk onto the back of the truck with the comm server. Put it down on your inventory, Victor.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm definitely, as we get to a place where I can mount this someplace, I don't have to necessarily carry it on me, I probably will, but For the moment.
Yeah. So you guys have
For
all
the
your stuff
moment,
loaded.
Akron
and back.
Morris has a comm server strapped to his back.
Yeah. So you got everything loaded, and you guys leave the train station, like on a back access road that apparently this truck came up from. Who's driving?
I am, because Ray is sick at the moment.
Okay. Let's say Twitch is up there with Pharixis. Everybody else is kind of bouncing around in the back a little bit, but the speed is going to be very low. Dude, one because it's an island, and two because of the state of the island.
So I
You
know
pass.
where we're going. I
you-
assume
you-
he's told me.
Yeah, like you punch it up on the GPS. He's giving you the address. It's only a few miles away. And like you pass a
Sure,
like
cliffside somewhere.
flattened security gate that apparently they just drove through.
Is there a sign that says this truck is the one that drove through?
Like the front is a little bit dinged up. That's about it.
Well, I guess we know how they got in.
Yeah. It seems like they just literally drove up this this access ramp that like maybe had not been guarded during this crisis. Who knows? So yeah, I think Ray, do you return the combat rifle to is Ray actually here, or
Ray
is he
can hear
like
you,
taking
but
a
he's
break?
currently laying on the couch, so he won't
Okay.
be talking.
Just ask Foster if he's gonna give the combat rifle back or not.
He says he will return it.
Okay. I think Oliver looks over at Marcus when this happens. Marcus, what is your reaction? Like he's not saying anything.
I wanna hug my pretty combat rifle very close to me, and then I will very reluctantly give it back to him.
He's like, it's a nice rifle. He doesn't reach out for it.
We're returning it to Green, though, right? Not the security
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
green.
you guys are in the.
Oh
you
yeah,
guys are
fuck
already
those
driving.
guys.
You guys got your weapons back. And you're bouncing around in the back of the truck, driving ostensibly to Green's estate. If whether or not it's fallen into the sea or not, you don't know. He gives you an appraising nod, Marcus. He's like, it's a good weapon. It's come in handy in the past. He just nods to you, and he doesn't reach out to take it. Like he's like, nodding towards you almost, like you keep it.
Really? For me?
I think you've been in a lot of hairy situations with Green, and like he's like he knows somebody who deserves a weapon better than what they had. Like he realizes that you maybe are on a little bit hard times for a mercenary. Like you just had like a standard rifle. And he's somebody who's very used to working with the best equipment. And so like that's actually a very important thing for him, like making sure that you always have the best things. Because it's like not because of it's an ego thing, it's just like that's what keeps you alive. So yeah, and I think he looks over at Akron, and then he just looks away. Like I think like maybe he's like, that guy needs some sort of weapon. Like he's like he's actually better off keeping the laser pistol. Like maybe he gives you a long look at the pipe that you've been carrying around with you, and just like looks away.
Yeah, I think I was gonna offer it back.
Look at the
but
pipe.
that
Look at his
I'll just-
piddly arms.
I'll kind of look back and be like, yeah.
So
I'm
so
probably
not
gonna
only
ditch the club
not only
soon.
do you have a stolen security officer issue stun pistol, you've also got a laser pistol.
Still need
I
to look
think-
up all the stats for those, by the way. I have them all listed as question mark on my sheet now.
Yeah. I think
Talk
you,
to the club.
Akron, at least this is the sort of thing you would look at. This serial number has been etched off with acid on your laser pistol.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, you guys drive to the drive to the kind of upper scale area where this supposedly is supposed to be. Do you like on the way there? There's several streets that are just shut down for virtue of being crowded, or there's debris, stuff like that. You have to take a fairly meandering path to get to your destination. And like you start to pull up into the neighborhood, and this is like an almost Beverly Hills type neighborhood. It is really clear that he has spent some significant cash to buy a place here. All of the houses here are kind of situated on this big hill that is on top of a ridge that is itself on top of like a cliff that overlooks the sea. Like it is way high up. But it's like a gradual height. And like all these houses are like, big kind of modern looking houses. They're pretty fancy. They've generally got big yards. A lot of them have like privacy walls around them. And like this is definitely a very high scale neighborhood, and it fits the place. Like this is a place where rich people come to retire, like to enjoy their freedoms. Green's estate / compound is slightly smaller than the others, but Marcus, I think you realize that it is definitely more strategically placed. Like it was definitely bought in your mind for its position. Like you can see immediately why he chose it. It's kind of at the top end of a one-way drive. Like there's like one single house that's above it, but it's not directly above it. Like you have to drive a little bit away up the hill. So it's got like a fairly unobstructed view down this long drive until it curves back, and then you can't see anything else. And it's got good sight lines. It's got I think a 7 or 8 foot like solid white. It's like it's not concrete. It's more like a cross between concrete and stone. It's like a synthetic stone that is poured. It's definitely like a really beefed up sort of privacy security wall around the entire thing. It's angular, like the compound is basically square shaped almost. Like there's a little bit of terrain flowing in
You
the
say
design.
compound, is this a house or did you buy a bunker in Beverly Hills?
Well, you wouldn't be able to see a bunker. Compound, as in he's got a wall around a large house. He's got a driveway with like an outbuilding that seems to have some sort of garage, and then he's got a very big yard.
So it's a very fancy house with high walls that probably has a bunker in the basement.
You would assume, like knowing this guy, yeah. These walls seem to have been recently reinforced. Like knowing that he bought this house ahead of his arrival here, like maybe he paid somebody to reinforce these things. Who has like I guess this would be another thing for Marcus. Marcus, you have tech post tech, right?
I do.
Yeah, you would recognize that he actually has some sort of not like a disruption field on top of the wall, but it's like you see the very squat occasional emitter that seems fairly unobtrusive. It looks like maybe it's some sort of electronic privacy shielding to prevent
Actually,
from surveillance.
I think we all have tech post tech.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
pretty sure
everyone
you do.
does.
But yeah, you would definitely recognize this. And I
Okay.
think Akron would probably recognize it too. And so yeah, you pull up, and it's like there's a very very sturdy gate. Like it's like steel alloy, and like you have a hard time imagining the truck driving through it. It's got like there's apparently these 2 or 3 holes in the ground directly in front of it that have like a metal iris. These are very obviously like security bars that are supposed to
It
come up.
bolts in.
Yeah, they bolt in, but these are like, you know, the things you see at airports that prevent people from like driving in on a suicide run.
Bollards?
Yeah, they're supposed to stop
Oh,
cars.
yeah, bollards.
Basically those. They're small and like, you know, these would only be like 8 inches in diameter, but like he's got those that can basically pop out in front of his gate. Yeah, and you stop the car. The neighborhood has been damaged, but it looks like on the way up here, you had to pass through a like a checkpoint basically. And Green showed his ID, and after a moment, you guys were let through, and there was like actually a single security officer manning this gate. Like there's no looters in
So
here. You
there's
don't
a
see
security
anybody.
checkpoint, and then beyond that, he has additional fortifications to his own gate.
Well, yeah, like it wasn't a security checkpoint to his compound. It was to the neighborhood.
Yeah. But his own gate has security that he can raise. Or are we talking back at the other
Yeah.
gate now?
Yeah, his gate has it. Like this is definitely like a neighborhood that people invest in to buy their privacy. And like he hops out. I guess you kill the engine. It's surprisingly pleasant up here given what's just happened on the planet. There's like a couple trees have been knocked over. There's not actually a whole lot of
Like the
trees
comments
on this
for-
hill.
For planet-wide chaos with a tsunami and people attacking in the streets, it's surprisingly nice up here.
Yeah. They make sure to keep them out of this area. It looks like one nearby house had a tree fall through the roof or something, but that's about it. There's just a lot of debris everywhere, like organic debris, like leaves and shit.
Has he already hired a staff? Like, does he have a staff working at this
No.
estate?
No, like he gets out and he like enters in a key code and puts his hand up against the security thing and like the gate unlocks. But like it's very quiet out here and nobody comes out to meet you. The gate opens and he basically just like, you know, he walks in, he motions you guys to back the truck into the compound.
I back it up.
Yeah, so you get in there. I assume you all get out. And he says, like, you know, he closes the gate again. This is a very impressive place. He starts unloading his stuff. I assume you guys help him with that.
Yeah.
It's not technically what you're paid for, but like, you know, you've been helping him do that the entire way.
Yeah, may as
Oh
well.
yeah, absolutely.
And you know, afterwards he says, "Would you guys like to come inside?"
Sure.
Yeah,
At least for the time being. I doubt we'll be getting any other accommodations soon.
Probably
Yeah.
go straight in, actually, instead of even helping with the luggage and start sweeping the place for bugs, actually. I think that would probably fit more.
well, you find the door like, you know, sealed. But if you come back and you're like the place is locked up, he'll come over and unlock it for you and let you in and then go back to unloading everything so you can sweep the place. As
Cool.
you're doing that, you notice it is almost entirely unfurnished. There's not a whole lot here. There seems to be like a kitchen area with like a table and some chairs, and like if you sweep the entire place, you see like a bedroom with, you know, a standard sort of bed that basically you know, comes out of the wall. This not like a fold down bed from like a motel, but like you press a button and it just like it kind of slowly emerges. But there's not a whole lot of furniture or anything here. It's very clean. There is a like a stairwell that leads down to some sort of basement. And then there's like a it's actually just a one floor place. Like it's just all it's a fairly wide open layout inside.
Were you getting other furniture delivered at a later date?
Yeah, he nods. He's like, I only had a few things with me. I intended to pick things up here.
Guess that'll be delayed a bit then, huh?
Yeah, he gives you like a sigh, like, yeah, like, isn't everything? You said you're sweeping. Can you give me a tech post-tech roll, Akron?
Sure.
Sweeping for bugs. I think we
Got the
used tech
+1,
post-tech
right?
last time. Yes, +1.
Well,
Holy
Sweep
shit.
the hell out of that place.
I was like, maybe there could be some mystery to this. No
apparently
mystery.
Akron takes his security seriously.
There are no bugs here.
Awesome. Very,
Uh,
very, very confirmed. There's
Like
no bug here.
you notice the house has, the voice automated thing. It's not active or anything. But like there's no listening devices. The house is it's just a smart house basically, but it's kind of in hibernation mode. And yeah, like I assume you guys load everything into the house. Twitch makes a comment like, you guys are gonna have a hard time finding anywhere else to stay, and Oliver says you guys have done quite a lot for me. I really did not anticipate there being this much trouble. It was really just more of a contingency to hire you. I'm sorry for all the danger. I'd offer to let you stay here, but I mean, I don't have a lot of furniture. If you guys want to stay here, I'd be more than happy to put you up. I know, with the state of the island, it might be really hard to find accommodations elsewhere. And he basically just looks to the group to see, like, your reaction.
I would be glad to. I mean, I would normally I might I wouldn't be so put out to ask such a thing, but you've seen the last couple hours, and it's just been
He nods. Like, this is definitely like, it's people going through a storm or something. Like, this is a shared experience, and he's totally understanding.
I'll offer to take an escort into town and try to find some temporary furniture, possibly inflatable.
How are
He
you
la-
on
He
food
laughs.
supplies at the moment?
He says, I'm not sure. He basically leads you to the kitchen. There's nothing there. I didn't think there'd be much, but I guess there's nothing. Before we do anything else, I want to take care of this. You guys have definitely fulfilled your end of the bargain. You got me here safe, despite everything. Job well done, and you guys get paid. So yeah, he takes out a compad from his luggage. Like, he had not been carrying it on him, but he apparently had this in like his actual luggage. He fires it up, and he asks like for you guys to link your accounts or whatever, and he slides a cool 5,500 credits to each of you,
Oh
including
wow, nice.
including Phyrexius. Phyrexius looks like stunned. I assume Twitch, you probably notice. You're probably keeping an eye on him. And yeah, like, this specifically seems to Phyrexius like just unheard of. You to specifically know he didn't think he was gonna live through this. He didn't think he was gonna get paid, much less paid this much. So like, he's almost in tears. Like, his 4 eyes are watering up. I think Oliver's making like a careful note not to look or anything. Like, he's trying not to embarrass him. And yeah, everybody add 5,500 credits to your accounts.
Way ahead of you.
Awesome. I'm gonna have to seriously go on a shopping spree as soon as this planet actually has a shopping infrastructure again.
Well, I mean, you can do that technically right now. It's going to be limited, but you said you want to go out and hunt for supplies, basically. Like, like food and furniture and stuff, but that doesn't mean you can't necessarily find stuff out here. This is the same day as the catastrophe, so you're probably not going to find a lot, but you could technically order stuff. Like you might not be able to get it right now, but you could order things.
That's cool.
It's not much, but I do have rations for 2 days if we have trouble finding something.
He looks at you and he laughs. He's like, if we're having to eat those, we're definitely in a little bit more trouble than we thought.
I don't know the
Uh,
situation on the island or how much looting's going on. You know how that goes.
If
Probably
I
a
mean,
few
you
extra
asked if
burgers
we had
left.
food. I thought you meant food. We've got emergency rations, or at least we should. He gives a glance over to the stairwell door where, Akron, you noticed the stairs down. Did you? I'm kind of assuming you didn't go into the bunker or the basement, rather.
I would
like
imagine that's probably sealed or something.
Yeah, like you didn't try to go down there, did you?
If it was locked, I wouldn't have. If it wasn't
No,
locked, I
no,
probably
it
would have
was
gone down
it
there.
was
and,
biometrically locked.
yeah,
the-
if it was locked, I wouldn't have. If it wasn't locked, I would have gone down for sure.
if things are that bad, we've got supplies. They won't be tasty by any means.
That's good to know. I don't know the situation down on the island yet. I mean, you saw the way it was at the train station.
Yeah, he nods. So yeah, I think while you guys are there, he gives you guys your own rooms. You're not gonna have much in there, but like maybe Victor, you set up or Akron, you set up your comm server. Like,
Twitch has lived with worse.
yeah, so there are enough rooms in this house since like right now, the rooms basically have no function almost. That like you have enough rooms to where everybody can sleep by themselves. And like the bedrooms have like these kind of standard beds that come with the house. And of course, you've got bathrooms and everything. So everybody's got their own rooms. He says you're more than welcome to stay as long as you need. You've done more than right by me. And that's it. Like what do you guys want to do? Your mission is technically over.
I actually figured out what I could afford.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I can't
that's-
pick
that's
up
a thing.
Max's parts until the trains are back up and I can go back to Centron City. So
Yep.
that's not happening now, probably. Probably gonna have to go out and run out for supplies. I mean, if it
Yeah,
comes
so-
down to it, we can fall back, but we much prefer to have actual food if that's actually at all possible.
How much would you say those AR glasses are, by the way? I was thinking about picking up 4 pairs of them.
Let me look.
I don't think they exist in the book.
No, I know that.
Well, I was saying you
Um,
said let me look.
No, well, when I say let me look, I'm usually looking at things for comparison. I will add these to the supplemental equipment, though, now that you've brought them up.
Seems
Low
that'd be
light
a
goggles are
handy
200.
thing.
Let's see here. Low light goggles are 200. Low light goggles, let you literally see in low light. They're not going to do that, but that gives a good comparison. And compads cost what?
Compads are, I think, cheap, like 50 or something.
100. All right, it's gonna be in between. It's gonna be 150.
Okay.
150 for AR glasses. Like it's it's basically like Google Glass or whatever. It projects anything that is augmented reality in your system, whatever you're running, or if there's something being displayed in the world around you, like not everything is a holo display. Some holo displays have like more going on than you can just see with your naked eye, that sort of thing.
Cool. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm gonna be probably trying to buy 4 pairs of them if I can. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try and deduct the cash for that. I'll put them on an ordered list.
And I will say, like it basically includes basic communications, like it's kind of like an extension of your compad almost. You have the earpieces that go over your ears, and like that basically transmits the sound. So
Would I have to pay anything for basically like a compad interface I can strap to my arm? Kind of like almost like a
no.
watch type of thing. I just count that as something I have.
We'll
then.
say that if you want to splurge like 20 credits, you can buy like a custom thing to put your compad on your wrist, maybe.
Okay.
Like
I'll
normally a
do that.
compad is literally like the size of a smartphone that people hold, but you can get like a wrist mount thing for either the inside of your wrist or the outside that you can just have it there, and it'll just be in like horizontal mode.
Awesome. I actually spent the 20 credits and I put a note on my compad
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
then.
You can go basically hands-free with that. Like if you ever have to jump and hold on to a ladder.
My experience with holding a pistol and a compad is what got me thinking about this.
Yeah. So like this, I'm gonna play this off right now. Is like you've got thanks to the comm server that you've miraculously found, and the fact that you all have compads and stuff. You guys can make orders off of the net for your shopping right now. We're in a semi break. I'm not leaving or anything, but we're not in like active time right now. I don't think we're done with the session. I think we have a little bit more to go with. But if anybody has anything they want to get out of the way in terms of shopping or communicating with anybody, stuff like that,
Looking up
now's the time.
the costs of stuff right now, actually, there's a couple things I'm interested in.
Yeah,
Hollow
totally
Projector's
fine.
been on my shopping list for a while as well.
Um,
Well, I'm personally taking like a slight break. Maybe we'll come back in 5 minutes or something.
sure.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
pretty good, actually.
Yeah, if everybody wants to take a 5-minute break, that's totally fine.
Cool. See you guys in 5 minutes. You want to pause the recording maybe for that 5-minute
I
gap?
can't pause it. I'll stop it and start it again.
Oh, that makes sense.